Hello everyone and welcome to the ACGL Mythic Royale Finals. I will be here joined tonight by the one and only Snowball Ninja, more affectionately known as Steven. How are you doing, sir? How are you feeling?
I am absolutely stoked out of my mind. It has been delayed, it has been pushed back, and I am itching to get into some good old Apex. And quite frankly, I think we're in for an absolute treat. With all of the teams ready and raring to go, I think they've also felt that delay, and I think it just makes them more keen than ever to clutch that victory. What do you think?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. It's been a bit of a torrid ride, I'd say, with the recent load shedding and everything like that. But regardless, we are here. The day has arrived. We have, at the very least, 3 to 4 games of jam-packed Apex Legends for you. And of course, none of this would be possible with one, all the viewers, and two, the sponsors, our beautiful sponsors, MSI, Red Dragon, Antec, and Crucial. Absolutely phenomenal. And on that note, there has been a few changes to the prize pool. So if we go ahead and pull that up, we can have a quick chat about it. Walk us through it, Mr. Snowball.
Here we go. We have a total prize pool of 17,000. But hey, first place is going to be walking away with 8.5. Second place, that is 4,250 Rand going in their pockets. Third place, 2,550 Rand. And fourth place is taking home 700. Fifth and sixth, you're not forgotten. 500 bucks is going to you as well.
Well, I mean, that's certainly a pretty penny if you ask me. And teams of 3, that's really not bad. That's a good amount of money split between the lads. And just a little bit of a heads up, the community goals have been absolutely bussing between these recent streams. Unfortunately, we cannot do the one on the top right there. You see the 16 teams checked in. Unfortunately, load shedding through a giant span in the works. So unfortunately, that will not be happening. But regardless... Yeah, exactly. 150 retweets were met, so that's an additional $1,000 added to the pot. Social reach as well as 1 million. That's crazy. Another $1,000. And if you guys are good and you get enough people involved, 80 concurrent viewers, that'll be another 1,000 added to the pot tonight. So potentially $18,000 up for grabs here. I mean, that's a lot of chicken nuggets.
That is a lot of chicken nuggets, and quite frankly, that is what I would consider the universal currency when it comes to prize pool. So yeah, guys, please get the word out. I know you're enjoying it. I know you're ready to sink your teeth into it. But hey, the more the merrier, especially when it comes to adding just a little bit of extra dough for the guys that are taking part. And speaking of the guys that are taking part, let's have a look at our teams.
The ones at least have qualified. There were 3 or 4 qualifiers leading up to this, and these are the absolute legends that have made it through. Of course, this is in no particular order. These are just the people, the 20 teams that made it in, so that's a total of 60 players, if I can do maths correctly. We have a DNMK, Apex First, TWC, Quake, BNK, Empire, TWC2, TWC. My goodness, there's a lot of TWC in here. For real, no cap. Rota, Echo Wolf, Nibble, Peaky Blinders. And the second half, what are you feeling here, Mr. Snowball?
Well, Ominous Gaming, Dark Esports, 2 Team Eternity, TWC again, Flood, SLX, Radex, Potentia, Vis, Early Access, HZA, and MT Wallets. Wow, I resonate with the last one. Quite frankly, rounding out 20 teams of 3, all I'm saying is that's 20 teams of 3 individuals that I know are hungry for this. These people pour their blood, sweat, and tears into this game. It's more than a game to them. It's not just to have fun. It's to show that they're the best. And this right here is the best.
Or the 20 players that had to make it through the grueling qualifiers, and now they are, like you said, the best of the best of the best of the best, and I'm pretty sure they're down to show it. But curiously, we will be seeing the 2 maps pulled up now as to where the favorite drop sites are for each of these teams, and the credit there, if you have a look, I believe, huge shout out there to Apex AFR updates, Africa updates. Okay, Apex Africa updates. Man has got the intel, and let's have a quick look at World's Edge. What are you feeling? Do you think that we're going to see early game fights, or not really?
Look, here's the thing. I know teams are confident and they like to get in and get those kills and you know, secure points, but at the other, wow, rather English is hard. On the other end of that is, how much do you want to risk? It is risk versus reward, because that is a double-edged sword. You drop in and you get taken out early, that is a whole game that you've just wasted. So I see a lot of, you know, contested, potentially, spots on this heat map of names. Will they be sticking to it? I'm not sure. There's something to be said about sticking to your guns, but also something to be said about switching it up and throwing a spanner in the works and being unpredictable. You know, I've heard it said, never let them know your next move. How far can that carry these teams?
Absolutely, but I think working with how well these teams have been practicing, obviously the customs were held recently every Wednesday. I think there's at least one custom that ACGL holds up. This is where that information comes from, right? So I'm pretty sure they know the loot spawns, they know how to work through it, they know how to get their rotations in place so that they can best maximize off the rip. Just something I want to mention there, on World's Edge, the two sort of titans, if you will, of the lobby, Nibble and DNMK, are landing right next to each other. So it's no wonder that in the previous qualifier, so I had the pleasure of casting the second qualifier, and that was when Nibble first made their appearance against DNMK, and it was really quite unbelievable because DNMK just kept on getting unlucky, getting shut down in the early rotations. So will we see that again? Well, I'm pretty sure. I think now is the time that Nibble's actually going to either shut it out completely or they're going to have their money taken from them completely. And DNMK has just been the sleeping like giant waiting for the finals.
Well, you raise an interesting point. I mean, after those kind of shutouts, that does take a bit of a knock to the morale. So, do they double down and, strengthen their usual strats, or are they going to be looking to be those sleeping dogs or the underdogs? They're not really the underdogs, they're still Titans. But are they going to pull something absolutely crazy and just absolutely wipe the floor?
Well, I'd love to see that. I mean, it's going to be a crazy set of matches. Obviously, for all the people that are here, they definitely know, but I'm going to say it anyway. The two maps are going to be World's Edge, Stormpoint. And everyone loves Stormpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, talking a little bit more about the previous qualifiers, they have been really interesting. It seems as though for each qualifier, there has been a team that completely takes over. The first one was Nibble. And I mean, it was actually a sight to see when Nibble were in like their groove, like a well-oiled machine. They just absolutely walked over teams. It was like W Key Simulator. It was unbelievable. I mean, at one point, I'm pretty sure Champy had, or two of the players at the very least had Krabers, and he was like shooting people off of jump pads. It was like skeet shooting. It was unbelievable, man. It's just like, that's the kind of thing I'm terrified of. It's like predators like lurking in my low gold lobbies. It's just not a good time, man.
Cold. Wow. What's it like up there? Here's the thing. That kind of momentum is very, very real. Not just from like an actual gameplay standpoint, like, cool, you've landed and you've got good loot, and then you start taking teams, you start winning fights, you get more loot, that kind of, dare I say, snowball effect. But psychologically, that is a massive boost to the team to keep pushing, to keep steamrolling. And look, man, a lot of the battle is won in the mind, not necessarily on the battlefield. And I think when Nibble's confident, they're dangerous.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Look, so I come from a bit of a different game background, that being Call of Duty, but I've had the privilege of seeing and competing in that league and a little bit here in Apex. But there is so much to be said about the mental side about gaming. It is unbelievable. I mean, in CSGO, there was a team that was based out of America, were the first people to ever employ a psychologist, team psychologist, to keep their morale up. So I mean, to take to that level is really something. But like you said, and that goes to hand in hand with where you land, right? So it's sort of like if you land in a contested spot and you win that fight, that means you've got the momentum, you've got the mental sort of like fortitude to get ready for your next fight. You're already in the groove. Whereas if you land a little bit slow, try to get set up, maybe get looted to the teeth, but you get into your first fight against someone who's already had two fights, I mean, then their shot is on. So along with the mental, then they've got a little bit of like mechanical warming as well going. So there's just so many elements that you have to take into account when it comes to something like a battle royale. It's just hard to keep track of it all.
Very much so. And look, thing is, at the end of the day, Battle Royale is last team standing by whatever means. So maybe it is one of those games like the Titans are clashing and in various hotspots on the map, there's blows being exchanged, there's shots going out, and that one team that just happened to have a loot and walking simulator game rock up at the final circle and just wipe the floor with everybody. That is a legitimate strategy. So maybe if people aren't feeling as confident, if there are teams that are maybe feeling a bit on the back foot, and that is their strategy, that could come into play. In addition, like you said, if those Titans have been stomping their way through and they rock up to the final circle and that team that has been, dare I say, ratting the entire time just get clotheslined, who knows, man? That's Apex. That's how it be.
That's exactly what, like you said, in the previous qualifier, before qualifier 4, qualifier 3, I think it was one of the TWC guys. I'd be lying if I remember his name correctly, but he managed to do exactly what you said, where quote unquote ratting at the end. I call it strategical. Anyways, he made it to like, he got 2 kills off the rip, his teammates died, and then he was just like sort of just like keeping it going like under the radar, and then at the end he placed second by pulling something amazing up.
a lot of Horizon. There's Seers in the mix. There's some Valkyries, which is not surprising at all. I am interested with the fair amount of Seer picks. I myself am a fan of having Valkyrie on the team because I like to run away. So, quite frankly, I'm interested with these picks. I saw a lot of commitment to Horizon. What do you make of that?
Look, I think the standard layout for a comp site at the moment would be information at the very least. So that'll be your Seer, Bloodhound, rotational player, and that I see Octane a little bit, but not so much. Valkyrie is there for the serious rotational play where they get out as far as they can, and then they have the sort of wild card or Slayer or objective player. So Horizon is brilliant for that, right? You generally see the Horizon players absolutely slaying out where they use their Q effectively and they try to keep it as efficient as possible, trying to throw out the Qs. I've seen Horizon's Q used in ways that I didn't even think were possible, like blocking off doors and then just completely like, I don't even know, just like using it as an additional barrier rather than a movement upgrade. You know what I mean?
100%. And I think that kind of thinking, that kind of out of the box thinking is what sets teams apart. Because everyone's like, oh, cool, I've got that verticality. I can, move from one location to another. No, throwing your opponent into the air to make them, a clay pigeon, blocking off a door while you get off that clutch revive. That's the kind of stuff that sets you apart. And speaking, oh, goodness gracious, speaking of being set apart, for real, no cap, immediately taking shots here and being pushed away from this loot spawn. I can't see exactly which team is engaging them, but they are taking a lot of shots. And I'm not sure if it looks like the other team member is a little further away at the moment. Who is that busy engaging with? Okay, it's we see Darkamir, we see Nevane. That's a lot of shots being taken by a for a no cap. Maybe this contested drop was not the best start for them.
Well, not, but here comes a full 3-on-3 as it is going to be Dark Esports going to get completely Seer queued, and here comes the push. It's going to be a Mr. Chimber pushing out forwards to see if he can find some quick shots. Gets the crack in there at the last second, but I suppose, who was the other team that was in this rotation? It's so hard to tell.
Esports was, sorry, for no cap, rather.
They are out. They are not opting for this fight. They're just going to completely book it and see if they can get a quick reset before they go for the re-engage.
Well, it's like we said. There's that momentum. They've got that. They've got the loot, and already we've got one down for free or no cap. That's not good. Just Nando attempting to use his teammate's fallen shield. No, he goes down to a punch, no less. Oh my goodness. Exo, please. He can't pull it out, and the free or no cap is, I believe, no cap eliminated.
Indeed. Well, in the interim, there's actually been 2 squads taken out in quick succession there. So for real, no cap, we'll catch you in the next game at the very least. Fantastic start there for Dark Esports, as that's a good team that you want to get taken out. But here comes another set of fights over in Fracture West, I believe this is. Fracture East. As I love the confidence. I mean, King Caesar just absolutely W King in the open, not even taking shots. But as you say that, it's going to be a knock. So already a 2 versus 2 situation, making it a 1 versus 2. Will the Phoenix be popped in time? The answer is no. Another team taken out. Radix, we'll catch you in the next lobby.
Radix hits the deck, none other than Nibble taking them out. We said that confidence, that bloodlust, it's key. And look at that. They're on purple armor. They've got plenty of ammo. They're already having their pick of weapons of choice. This is the momentum that we were talking about. And look at that confidence paying off, dropping Fracture and just having that confidence to back yourself. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed, but quite frankly, at this point, I expect no less from Nibble.
Well, look at them. They're still hunting. There is another player trying to get out as quickly as possible. DNMK in the back being shot. Shield has been cracked. Already a player down, but the respawn is in. But I mean, look at this. Nibble is on the prowl. They are trying everything in their power to get this kill. Well, I suppose that momentum, like you were speaking of a bit earlier, is there for them, and they are just trying to be the dominant force in this game.
Look, you called Connor, you called it. Nibble and DNMK clashing. They landed close to each other. Oh my goodness, Akil, please. You have an absolute hair of health. There's the cue to get away. Run through the void, sir. Oh my word, he just doesn't make it. There's a quick climb attempt. That's not great. Vaizu, you're alive. Cheetah Boy is also alive. I'm glad that they got the respawn off, but Akil is now dead and gone from this world. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to collect his beacon. We're dropping back over here to TWC2, and they seem to be having a little bit more of a lazy Sunday with how they are starting off their map, or their match rather. They're decently looted up. We've got the blue shields, we've got some rifles and such to go around, and already we're exchanging shots. Can you see which team they are fighting with there, Connor?
Not at the moment. As soon as we change over to them, it is the team of Zesty, so I believe this is a HZA. A nice bit of a contest here over at Giza, or Giza, however you decide to pronounce it. As you can see, Ultimate is there, so if they decide that this is not worth the fight, they will quickly rotate out. I'm curious to see if they're going to do that right now. Regardless, the shots are in the back, but no real shield damage as of right now. So I think the sort of playing strategy at the moment for TWC is to see if they can like maybe get a few picks or cracks and then push off of that. But they're not overcommitting. They are just sort of peppering at each one another, sort of like feeling it out, you know. And I think HZA was like, we're not really keen to feel it out ourselves, but they're going to be running straight into the teeth of another team here, if I'm not mistaken.
Right into the jaws of death. And speaking of the jaws of death, Team Eternity not around for Eternity. They were eliminated off screen, and I saw Cheetah Boy go down to the hands of the Nibble team as well. It's the jaws of death closing around teams left, right, and center. Now we're exchanging shots across the bow here. Not very many connecting, but hey, that's all level up for your Evo shields. And I can see quite the spread, the rainbow spread across that team. Empire deciding to do a little bit of house hunting. They're hanging out in the house while they wait for the rest of the looting to take place. They're watching. Yes, I think I was about to say, I think they spotted them. The shots go out again, more poking, making sure that their presence is known. I'm not sure if they're ready to commit. This is a bit of a difficult angle to hold. They've got the other team has the higher ground. Yes, they've got the nice houses, but quite frankly, it's not time to settle down and play house. I see them moving. I see them rotating. They're well within the ring, but at this point, I think they're just going to start scooping up all of their favorite loot and preparing for the inevitable clash to come.
Well, absolutely. And I think something that we haven't actually touched on is the fact that the storm now, since the most recent update, is actually quite mean from the first one. So the top-ended teams, like you can see, BNK, that's quite funny. BNK over here looking to see if they can play the sort of like gatekeeping role, maybe finding quick kills. There is already a bow check in play. I don't know how we missed that, but it seems like what do you call those things? Care package has been slurped up as of right now. Charge rifle is out. And okay, this is a point I have to make. I cannot stand the charge rifle simply because of how quickly. This is actually just Red Shield Simulator. Like, this is how you farm for it, is with this weapon right here.
Look, there's going to be no punches pulled when it comes to these finals. So whether it's a charge rifle, whether it's a bow check found in a care package, I think they're going to be taking everything that can make it work for them. And I see here the white shields, they're going to need to farm up. There go out the shots, the R31, my personal favorite. And BKN, look, they're not looking as hard on the shield side. They've got plenty of ammunition, but no point in having plenty of ammunition when you're too dead to fire it. So, Nibble is pushing onto Carnival. Oh my goodness, I see TWC Quake is gone and eliminated. TWC again. SLX as well, eliminated off screen. Nibble, do they know that Kanye
Nibble just actually got a kill. Well, Nibble just got a kill. They're looking for another fight here, as I'm pretty sure there's probably 10 kills between them at the moment. These guys are just completely powering ahead. There you go. That's already 4 kill leader in the hands of Chambi here. Red Shields. I promise you, they are just playing W Key Simulator. They're not even remotely afraid. Look at this. They're running straight through there. Well, I suppose their own ult, but regardless, the aggression is there. No quarter given whatsoever. The reset was in, but the shots are still there as the rotation from BNK does come through. But regardless, you can see that Nibble is actually looking for the kills more than anything as they're rotating away from the zone to find the fights.
Again, just showing you the confidence that this titan of a team has. If we go have a look over here, Omnius Gaming, massive fights. We're fighting on the roof of this building. The shots are coming in. The people are dropping down. We're hiding behind this door to try and see if they can get off some heals. This is going to be close. I think there was still one teammate left outside. Jeeves, there we go. Outgo the shots, but that's a very, very beefy purple knockdown shield. Be careful of exposing your shins there. No, I was standing on top was Fortune. Can he get the finish off? It's burning through that knockdown shield. Get those confirmed kills. That's 2 down for OG Fortune. One poor player just trying to get away. Zesty and Alpha. Oh my goodness. You poor people. I don't think there's any way we get this respawn card back. My goodness. Omnius Gaming, you did very well until Phantasma rocked up. Here comes in what a ballsy revive with the gold knockdown shield. Jeeves standing his ground with this wingman. That was very impressive. Out goes the Maggie ult, and I think it's time for Omnius to just back away and lick your wounds real quick. But Fortune and Jeeves don't know the meaning of retreat. They're standing their ground. Out go the shots from TWC, who are already a man down. And quickly Burritos just stepping back to medkit himself back up. Wow, that was insane and a risky fight to take with one man down. But I think they saw the opportunity and they're moving. And out goes this rotation. I don't quite know what to make of it. That Fuse definitely wanting to move. Burrito,
Oh,
no!
oh,
There's
Burrito!
the zone! It's eating you alive, my good sir! Oh,
Not like
no! Omnius Gaming, you're going to also have to make a move here because that zone is coming in and is coming in quick. The heals are coming in to keep them alive, but what happened to the other team?
Oh, Burrito just mistiming things slightly and he gets taken out. So it's just going to be a free kill there. And which was a 2-on-3 push has suddenly become a 1-on-3 push. As I believe, I couldn't quite see who the last person was alive there. But regardless, he manages to get away with his life. And maybe that'll be playable in the end. But if you look over here, we're in the shoes of Hayes and Co. where they're waiting to see how this rotation comes in. Sort of gatekeeping to the best of their ability. And Dark Esports. That's an interesting angle. I didn't even know you could get down there.
Well, Dark Esports at the moment busy playing, chasing simulator with the zone, but now they've found their team. Out go the shots, potentially of this eliminated off screen, but now this fight is taking place in the zone. And again, this is going to be chunking quite a bit more. This is another thing in the back of their minds. Out goes the Wraith ult, hopefully to make a rotation that has some value. Early axes now jumping down to get away from the zone, probably the smartest move. Cyberstorm opting to punch the air and make sure that it knows its place. We see Nibble chasing after, oh, goodness gracious, a very strong contest, but Tenchi taking a mouthful of bullets. Nibble opting to maybe stump the brakes on that little push, get the shields back up, but hey, look at that. We've got a red shield, we've got a gold shield, and a purple that's probably soon to be red if I know Nibble. So, a quick little reset for Nibble, but I can guarantee you they are going to be on the heels of that team.
Wow, amidst all of this chaos, we failed to mention that DNMK survived the onslaught of Nibble. They managed to get out and reset. Look at this. They got purples. They were ready to get in and potentially make that last ended play. Like you said, maybe these guys take the long-winded route around and then sort of just like not get clothesline. I don't know, but if anyone's going to not get clothesline in the final round, it's going to be these guys. They're definitely going to be giving a Nibble a run for their money. But as you said, Nibble is definitely still in hard contest with another team there. They're looking and sniffing out the competition as quickly as possible.
As we can see here, the sole survivor of HZA hiding in the corner. Speaking of sole survivors, TWC2 also hanging out in the corner, taking in the scenery, maybe questioning their life choices about joining a blood sport. But at the end of the day, man, it is that. It's a battle royale, and it ain't over till it's over. And speaking of being over, early access, my goodness, in a massive fight here. Heavy is taken down, trying to use the body shields or the knockdown shield. Not enough, and oh, Cyberstorm, please, can you get away? You can't. Riddled with bullets is his spine. Early access goes down, followed by BKN off screen, and that is Nibble claiming more victories. They kick down the door, they dive into the loot like the hungry, hungry team that they are, and it's red shields and a gold across the board. You absolute predators.
That must be such an awful feeling. You try your hardest to win a one-on-one fight there. You just get the elimination, and then out of nowhere, Nibble just swoops in and cleans out the rest of your team. They get the KP, they get the loot, and they get the reset. Now, DMK going in for a hard contest over the boys over at Nibble here. So this is going to be the Battle of the Titans, if I am not mistaken. But as I said that, we're on board quickly with the boys over at BNK still. No, DNMK. Not going for the fight, they're going for the rotation, as I eat my words.
Probably the smart move, though, considering they are a man down. That doesn't mean they can't bring something to the fight, but it does mean a change in tactic, especially when you're dealing with a team like Nibble, who are currently nibbling at their heels. I see OG Fortune are currently occupying their own little base up there, and poor Phantasma is just hanging out on the edge of the zone. Omnius Gaming, what are we looking at here? Also, just occupying their own little pocket. I think maybe hanging around for some intel, waiting for that next zone to kick in. There it is. That's the info that they're looking for. And yes, they are going to have to rotate. And Nibble, right smack bang in the zone already. That means a lot of rotation, and they can start pulling some gatekeeping, which, with how they're kitted out, I'm scared.
No, but I mean, that is like actually giant brain gameplay. These guys know how to pace their match correctly. They are aggressive at the start, and then you saw in between the last two rings there, they opted for the rotation and they got set up. Here we go, care package, Kraber me, content Kraber. Here we go. It's in the hands of Chambi. We're gonna see something spectacular. As these guys have got everything and the kitchen sink in their back pocket, ready to be thrown at these other teams.
speaking of everything cheap, is over 300 rounds of heavy ammo for this flatline. But that's fine. Send out the shots, tick them down, make them have to use their utility. That just means there's less and less for those final circles. And speaking of which, Ring 4, only 45 seconds remain. This is going to come to a very, very close quarters fight, and I'm wondering who's going to be ready for it. DNMK getting spotted out there. I don't know how they want to position themselves. They're going to have to start really, really picking their fights. Empire clustered up together. Hopefully, they can make a move here, because if they can take out DNMK, which is a two-man team, not that they know this, but here's the Kraber. Chambi, please do something sexy for us. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see that.
Play.
Empire, all right. Please sniping matches between you and Chambi is all I ask. My goodness! What do you mean? He has a Kraber and you challenge him with that. The R301 melting through Silent. You poor little sausage. My goodness, Empire gonna have to drastically rethink, and he's on an absolute sliver of health. There's the Q going out of Horizon to block that doorway, as we spoke in the beginning, and jumping back into DNMK while Empire lick their wounds and pick their Gibby up. What was that?
I mean, that's exactly, you can't count out DNMK. You have the Kraber, you have the slow peak advantage, and you just get completely evaporated to the point where he nearly gets taken out. So now that was a quick reset, a little bit of respect gained for them. They're not going to be pushing that team, not after that interaction. And look at Nibble here. They're just looking for some rotational kills. I'm pretty sure that there could be somebody in the vicinity. The CS scan is out, but no information as of right now. But okay, so the voice of God has spoken. We will be going in for a listen-in with a Nibble Esports.
Insane.
The team behind us is in shipment, eh? Just saying. Pay attention to that.
Yeah. They're in the open, yeah.
Me too. Gibby standing in the open, if you can see him.
Fuck. Yeah.
Look at Gibby.
The Gibby has Kraber. Gibby has Kraber.
What? 50 on the Gibby? I think 70 actually on the Gibby.
I think the rep died, by the way.
Yeah, nice that.
We have this space. It's not the greatest, but we have it.
I think we need to try and kill them here. They're in such a bad spot.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem over here, they just ran out.
Honestly, I think if we just hold them, they just die, Chamber. Because, like, there's nothing in there. They're just gonna have to play in the open, and then they're dead.
The duo, see a Gibby so far.
There was another guy there, there was a Horizon.
Wow, talk about comms and being cool and collected. There was not, I can promise you, that sounded like it was just a casual pubs game that these guys were talking about. There wasn't even a hint of stress there.
Not a sweat on the brow of the Nibble players, and quite frankly, I'm impressed, because there is absolute madness going down. They are cool, calm, collected. Omnius Gaming seem to be in a bit of a pickle here. There's not much in the way of cover. That's a gorgeous little spray there, though. Tenchi's going to have to sit back and lick his wounds. So let's not count out OG just yet. They can see where the next zone's rotating. They've got 5 seconds to make up their mind on how they want to do this, and we still have 4 squads remaining. One of those being the two-man DNMK. I think we're about to see an absolute explosion of action. And speaking of explosions, in comes the ult from Bangalore. Oh boy, was that Nibble's ult, I think? I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you, but as of right now, it looks like it probably was, as they're getting a little bit aggressive here. Empire's still staying alive. Playing his corners is going to be Flight Desire. Now the Seer ult is there, and you can use it both passively and aggressively, as we'll be seeing a push undoubtedly here. Hayes flying on through. The ult is in, but it's going to be a Gibby ult to stop them dead in their tracks. DNMK just playing the corner tight and easy as they do, waiting oh so patiently for the push.
That was a very, very quick response to a massive push, but the push is not over, and they come. There's a massive defense, and they're going to have to get pushed back. Empire does take them down eventually, though. Omnius Gaming gets eliminated. So does DNMK off screen. I don't even know what happened, but they've been eaten up by the jaws of these very hungry teams. There's a massive fight all around these cargo boxes. A Gibby shield, plenty of cover, a close-range Kraber. What's going to happen? Nobody was even surprised when Nibble Esports walks away from that engagement the victors. Well done, Nibble. You ate them alive. And quite frankly, I've got the biggest smile on my face. Well done, Nibble. Excellent work.
I mean, nothing more to be said. They just completely steamrolled every team they got into an engagement with. They backed off once, and that was for a quick reset, and then they went straight back into it. I mean, but still, kudos to DNMK then. They made it to top 4. even though they were played down, tussling with the side of Nibble at the beginning. Doesn't matter. They were able to get something at the end. But regardless, bit of an underwhelming showing for the guys over at DNMK, but everyone else, that was beautiful. I mean, at one point, I think the best part, the highlight for that game, apart from the fact that Nibble's just the best in the world, apparently, is when the Gibby from, I believe it was Omnius, was aiming down sight straight onto DNMK, and it was just evaporation. There was no chance whatsoever for anything other than a down. It was crazy.
Look, man, even if I've got a Kraber and the target is standing still, I'm second guessing myself to take a shot. But no, when you are staring down the barrel of a Kraber and you peek with an R301 and enough accuracy and recoil control to absolutely rinse somebody, that's when you know you are among top teams. And quite frankly, that is also my highlight. And look, you mentioned DNMK. Yes, maybe a bit of a lackluster showing. I still give them a hand because right in the beginning they had Nibble on their heels. They managed to hold it together. They still were eliminated in some of the final teams as a two-man. I think they still pulled weight with a two-man team. They managed to hold off an initial push from OG. Was it Empire? It was OG. And I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed that they managed to do that. Well done, DNMK.
Absolutely. Well, they are now getting ready for the next match. Sorry, could you just bring up those standings again so we could have a quick check about the points and then explain how this whole finals works, at least the way I understand it. Okay, so number one, we have Nibble in Empire. Nibble on 29 points already. That's 17 kills, and they win. I mean, if that's not a showing, I don't know what is. Like, do you think we're going to have 5 games tonight at this rate?
Look, I personally would love for there to be a massive upset and we get all 5 games of delicious, juicy Apex finals. But I don't think Nibble, with the way that they're running, I don't know if they're going to give us what we desire. But at the end of the day, what I desire is damn good Apex, and that is being served in the multitudes. We can see here, Nibble taking those top 3 spots as if we were surprised. We got 665 kills for Misuko, Chambi, and Tenchi, and then Sice 999, 3 kills. Silent Wraith, another 3 kills there as well. It's nice to see the boys from OG there. Troy was taken, and Fortune also taking 3 kills home. Heavy Guacamole, 3 kills for you, as well as Light Desire and Anarchy, 2 kills apiece. And I like that, you know, I like that despite a massive effort from Nibble, there's still some good plays. There's still some really nice efforts coming out from the other teams, because I'm all for a shutout, but I want fights, man. I want good Apex. I want smart plays. I want clever rotations, and I think we're going to have plenty of that here tonight.
Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of a battle royale in a competitive scene, right? There is just so many moving parts, and then the fights can be so good. But I mean, a prime example of that is there was a long-winded 2.5-minute fight between, I think it was TWC2 and a BNK. They went through the motions and eventually came down to a 1 versus 1. BNK was like, yes, you win, gets that PK shot, gets that final squad wipe elimination type deal, and then as they're like, woo, time to get ready for the next fight, no chance, it's just Nibble, like, shoop, exactly like you said. So I mean, there's just so many moving parts, and if you're in a lobby and you're in the vicinity of Nibble or DNMK, one of the big sort of larger names in the lobby, I think the moment you start getting into a fight, you try to finish it as quickly as possible, because that third party is like steam running down the hill to get there as quickly as possible.
Look, we know third partying is very much a factor, dare I say a feature of Apex and damn near any battle royale. So you know when you pull that trigger to hopefully take out that other team, you are in fact ringing the dinner bell for anybody else that is nearby. So I think quick, decisive actions, quick, decisive strats, quick, decisive execution is what is required at this level of gameplay. Yes, you might have just wiped the floor with them. You can't spend your time sitting and looting and having a little picnic, because that what's I'm looking for? That location is now compromised. You're gonna have to move. You got to be thinking about your next move and the one after that. And that's pretty stressful if you ask me, but it looks like Nibble had that in spades.
Well, talking about their comms, I mean, they were just like, okay, we got this place. It's not the greatest to work with, but we can still do something with it. Pretty sure that was a knock there. Okay, I saw that as well. Just perfect comms, clear and concise, which is exactly what you want. Anyways, before we carry on, I must remember to tell you that there is going to be a giveaway between each game. So if you want to enter in the chat right now, you can !enter and !ticket will put you straight in there for some beautiful giveaways. Thank you, ACGL, for allowing that. Okay, everybody, the voice of God has spoken to us. We'll be right back after this quick break. There have been some lobby issues. Everyone, and welcome back to the Mythic Royale, the Royale Finals. I'm Trout, and this is Mr. Steven, also known as Snowball Ninja, and we are back here after that short break with a few things to talk about. First of all, thank you to the sponsors, MSI, Red Dragon, and Tech and Crucial. You guys are the best, wouldn't be possible without you. First thing we're going to get out of the way is thanks to everyone in the chat for getting involved here. Over 80 viewers, and you know what that means, Steven.
That means we are adding another 1,000 Rand to the prize pool. Yes, you managed to hit the goal, and thanks to all of you putting the word out and getting involved, that means another 1,000 bucks is chucked into that big prize pool for your boys to take home. I know that's exciting. I'm not going to pretend to know all the math behind it, but I can guarantee you this is just more to play for now. Thank you, everybody, for making this happen. At the end of the day, yes, we're playing some competitive esports here, but I know that us as viewers, us as fans, it's about the hype. It's about getting involved and engaging over this common interest. And I really do appreciate, and I can guarantee you all the people at ACGL also really do appreciate you getting involved, sharing this, and getting the hype up.
Absolutely. So now, like you said, $1,000 extra. That's a big smile on my face. I bet you it's going to be Nibble with bated breath looking straight at that prize pool, looking at that first place. They're going to be trying their utmost to get it. I'm pretty sure they got a good chance at it, but it's not over until it's over, as I say. But another thing to talk about here is there was a giveaway in the interim, and Mr. Silent Storm ZA taking the first giveaway of hopefully many tonight, depending on how many games we get through. But GG's to you, my man, as you will be the first one to walk away with some nice, I believe it's a Red Dragon product, if I'm not mistaken, Voice of God. Ooh, Red Dragon keyboard. Now that sounds pretty good. I myself in the market for a new keyboard, so maybe I should enter in the chat. No, I'm not allowed to do that.
Fun
Anyways,
fact,
yeah,
Mr. Connor, I actually do know Mr. Silent Storm IRL.
Oh, there you go. So now it's rigged. It's rigged. You heard it here first, everyone. You put the word in. It's rigged.
I'm not even in the giveaway, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So another thing I wanted to touch on from the previous game, you said you wanted to see how the Seer pick would turn out. And I was looking back and thinking of it. The way that Nibble played around that, I know we're talking about Nibble a lot. I mean, like, where else do you look if they come out with 17 kills? But the fact that they had that Seer and they played around that for information before a push was unbelievable. Like, that's exactly what we spoke about a little bit earlier about how you'd like to break down your comp side. And I said information, sort of like rotation, and then maybe a wall or an aggressive player. So, yeah, I think that the Seer is like an utmost pick at the moment. Everyone is running it. In the Pro League, in ALGs, you'll see more and more Seers than you've ever seen before. But aside
100%.
from all of that, what are you feeling is the current best 3 Legends to be running ranked or in comp? Or whatever you want to call it?
Look, I'm very much for Intel because for me, like, I can be honest, I'm main Bloodhound. So for me, and especially because I'm not nearly as good as these people, I want as much knowledge as possible, as much information as possible. That small bit of knowledge, just knowing, hey, this person's on X amount of shields or HP, or they're over there, or they have this, that could be the game changer. So I do see great value in bringing somebody like Sia. So I'm gonna put Sia into that. There seems to be less of a Valkyrie Skyward Dive GTFO kind of mentality. So honestly, taking that out and pulling in somebody like Gibby, I'm very okay with, because in this competitive level, you can be sure if you are out in the open, you are getting beamed. So that extra cover and that chance to pull a teammate back onto their feet, massive. So those are 2 big picks. And then, look, I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of Space Mommy, and that lift, like we said, is more than just a traversal tool. It can block off a doorway to get off a clutch revive, and I'm a big fan of that ult when you just bring everybody together and beat them to a pulp. So that's gonna be my pick personally.
Well, I think that's an absolutely solid pick. I can't fault it. I will change it, however, a little bit. I will
fault it, but you're going to change it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, I'm joking. That's actually, it's a brilliant pick, and I think it'll work out 100%. Well, let's have a quick look to see what is going on here. It appears that Rota have not made it into the lobby as of right now, so we are 1 team down to start us off with here.
Odd.
But regardless, it seems like it is going to be a carbon copy from the previous lobby in terms of legends here. Yeah. Interesting to see a few Watsons in play. I think I can count 1 for now. And I think that we haven't seen Watson used to her full potential, especially in the final ring when you have one building that you're trying to hold down where you want to get rid of those projectiles and have shield at the back in the back pocket. I mean, that's sort of what you're aiming at here, but see how that plays out. The other thing the one point that I wanted to say that people aren't using, I saw one of them in the lobby, is Newcastle. People, you need to get on the Newcastle train. He is so good in terms of a rotation and cover player, all mixed in one. You cannot go wrong. When the team start learning how to master him correctly, I don't know if you know who Taxi 2G is on Twitch.
No, it rings a bell, I'll be honest.
Anyways, he has like learned how to play him correctly, and it's actually terrifying. He being a support character, if you can play a support character correctly in any video game, your team is going to do exceptionally well. And I think it's just that's the only legend I'd change out of your roster.
Understandable, and look, honestly, there are the meta picks, and then there's also something to be said about comfort picks. People picking things that they are comfortable with, that they are good with, which again brings, let's just bring it back around to that Watson pick. That Watson pick, surely that's geared towards more of the end game. So do you think they are locking in that position and choosing Watson as one of their 3 picks with the intent to push it to the end game, where she arguably would be more of a stronger pick? Because out in the open, where you've got 16 different ways to flank someone, the fences and the ult aren't quite as effective. Do you think it's an end game pick?
I don't see it being anything other than an in-game pick, to be honest with you. But we'll get back to that in a second, as somebody on TWC Quake has already bit the dust, but not entirely. Revive is now coming through, and I'm not sure where the oppressors are, but it appears that it's a bit of a stalemate, as no one's really going for the challenge, even after a down, which is unusual in my small sort of W key mentality. If I get a knock, I'm like, team, we got to go now, push. So obviously these guys are a bit better than me, so that's probably why they decided to feel it out a little bit more first.
And it's curious, because I feel like if it was maybe a team like Nibble, that would have been the mentality, but maybe a little bit more caution from the teams that got eliminated a little earlier in the previous match. Maybe that caution is warranted. Right now we are with TWC Quake as they push up into a building, making sure they check their corners, and the corners have been checked, and they found another team. Out go the shots. There's a lot of shots being taken by Reigns. That's a very accurate arc star, and Just Gent is immediately sent to the floor. It's 1 player left for Quake, and now it's 0. TWC Quake, our first team to bite the dust. Very unfortunate, but somebody's got to go out first. Potential is making that possible.
Yeah, and I mean, that was off the back of Quake initiating that fight. They walked up onto them, and they just got completely laid out. They didn't even get a knock in that fight. So unfortunately, there always has to be one team that goes out first, but in the interim, it looks like early access versus DNMK, and you're going to be losing 1-on-1s like that. That's not fair. He just absolutely walked around the corner and got it down. So regardless, early access now down a player, and DNMK looking for the blood, as they are. Early access just reckon they're going to be leaving their teammate behind. That's a bit of a lost cause at this point.
Yikes. You hate to see it. It's that whole no man left behind mentality just getting thrown out of the window. But that was interesting. You saw, again, that was an example of a team starting a fight and then getting laid out. And here's DNMK pushing that advantage, trying to make sure that they make them pay for their mistakes. Income, Akil, maybe you've bitten off a bit more than you can chew. Your teammate is here to help you out, but you are down. Cheetah Boy cracked and definitely suffering on the HP side, and now they're pushing them. This is not great. DNMK, you're not in the best position. Yes, you're doing your damage, but this is scary. Okay, never mind. I'll just shut up. Early access just got laid out. Maybe, Steven, maybe you should just not speak.
No, I don't think that was quite a layout. That was one of the most confusing fights I've seen in a long time. I really struggled to find who was winning that fight at one stage, because it was like, it was a Vizu who went in there and got laid out by the side of who were they fighting? Early access. And then Sia dropped down and he got shot in the back, and then he broke Cheetah Boy, and then Cheetah Boy went back into the fight, got the kill in the end. It was just chaos, but regardless, DNMK showing that they have the grit and tenacity to bite down more than enough, and they can chew it well as they end 2 quick fights in a row.
Speaking of being ended, did you see, my good sir, for real, no cap, and now Dark Esports 2 also being taken out of this match quite early, and I'm sure that's not going to be doing great things for their morale. I can see the fuse here from TWC being used to good effect, breaking open those doors. They have the height advantage and they know where they're going, but how are they going to play this? They do have a great height advantage, and that heartbeat sensor trying to be put to use. I'm not sure what their play is. Do they want to jump down on top of them, or are they going to hold onto this advantage? We won't know, because now we're with Empire. There's an absolute scrap going down here. Silent Wraith hitting the ground, and just in massive retaliation, Empire say, no, excuse you, that's our boy. TWC Flood taken out of the game. Empire now have plenty of loot to sink their teeth into, lick their wounds, and get ready for the next fight sooner rather than later.
Well, in the interim of that fight, empty wallets also bite the dust, and it's a saying that I know all too well. Empty wallet, you know what it means. Anyways, it's going to be another fight going down here. TWC 2 being absolutely taken out here. Everything in the kitchen sink being thrown at them. Another knocker's there. It's all down to Phantasm. I believe that's how you pronounce that. He's going to try to get away, but not able to do so as TWC bites the dust. It's going to be the side of SLX who gets the kill, and then they get taken out. As who was that who took them out? OG now in for blood as teams are falling left, right, and center. 9 left, 27 players. This has been an electric start.
Dropping like flies they are, and interestingly enough, that TWC was the team that was on top of the roof and seemingly had the advantage. Yes, we weren't there to see it unfold, but it just goes to show, man, there's an old military saying, Connor, no plan survives first contact with the enemy, and I think that's becoming more and more evident here. Team Eternity looking down their scope is Dead Rabbit checking the perimeter. Seems to be a little bit more of a quieter start for them. They've got plenty of arms ready to go. Their armor situation maybe not their favorite, but here we go. We see them coming in, and there's a bow check. Again, we missed the care package. I don't know what that's about. Oh my goodness, 2 beautiful shots. Robin Hood calmed down, but he's going to retreat, having taken several bullets to the face himself. So a bit of a poking match going down, but I'll be honest, if any one of these team members were holding a bow check and I was on the other end of that, the business end of that, I'm not going to be challenging that.
Well, here comes the challenge. It's going to be an initial push there. They have been seared, so the information is in. Or maybe that was just information and all it was. No push to come off it as of right now. But I believe on the receiving end, BNK, here we go. Looking for the push. They are getting aggressive. They're getting tagged up. Blake needs to go for a reset here rather than the challenge, as Chill has also been broken in the chaos. And this is the team that has that Watson. So maybe we get to see if they use their ult here to maybe help them with the push, but I don't know how else to use the ult other than just to hold down a building.
It's very interesting because, again, like using that C ult, you're like, is this so that they can push or is it just to get information? Right now, those bullets are finding all the information they need. Dead Rabbit, indeed very dead. Carney as well, taking out Scotty, and they're looking to get that finish. Scotty is well and truly dead, and oh my goodness, the disrespect. Here, have a face full of micro drones. Good night. They clean them up, but that means there was still one person left, I believe. Oh, look at that. There's more fighting at the top of the map.
Well, Cheetah Boy, DNMK now trying to take on Empire. And Empire does the wise thing and opts to get away from the fight rather than attack as they get out of that CR ult and pop one of their own as they wait for the push from DNMK. And that's exactly what's happening here. Shots are flying out across the map, excuse my English, as the first shield crack is in, but no downs as of right now. And as I said, that Nibble taken out. Hello? Nibble out?
How, where, and why? How, where, and why? Well, we'll have to catch up later. Silent Wraith is also following in Nibble's footsteps, hitting the dust. They're pushing through into the Gibby shield. Down goes another member of Empire, and that is Empire crumbling. Empire's rise and fall, and this one has just fallen inside their own Gibby shield as DNMK prove they still are Titans in this matchup. A very aggressive push and very well executed. Empire, I'm sorry. DNMK rising to the top.
In this lobby, it looks like DNMK is trying to replicate exactly what Nibble did in the interim. And there's a knock OG taking out Mr. TTV Santandonox? Okay, doesn't matter. Forgive my dyslexia as it comes through hard and fast. As we go to the initial fight that Ominous Gaming is absolutely hunting for here, as they are trying to get the ball rolling for themselves and follow in the footsteps of DNMK in this lobby.
Oh, there goes out the scan. They know plenty of information now, and the blood is in the water. OG wrapping around. Out go the bullets. A lot of good shots that Sears cracked, and just like that, Radix wiped from the face of the earth. That was pretty brutal. I think I just witnessed a war crime.
And without even breaking a sweat, as OG completely walking over everyone. Regardless, DNMK, we are on board with them at the moment with 16 players left and 6 teams. These guys are looking to make their mark, and I'm pretty sure this is the team with the kill lead, if I'm not mistaken. Could we double check that stat?
A little flick through the players here. I'm not actually sure. regardless, I think with the way that they're heading, they probably will be. DNMK, again, in a very strong position. They are outside the ring, but they're using this height to their advantage. Some scouting, some information being gathered. I'm not sure if they're going to be playing the we need to be in the ring first, or we're going to move in with the ring. And yeah, speaking of DNMK, how about we go have a cheeky little listen in?
Checking the bench right here.
Good. Just careful, they are on Epi hiding. Like I said, if they fight Frag, we throw that shit in.
They're fighting right now, no?
No, they're poking. One team up here.
Oh.
Another team in Dino. Just get that team in Epi hide first.
Wait to try and look for some kills.
Yeah. Can't really queue up to Epi height, so it's kind of not the best push. But we could hold them out. They're gonna have to drop next zone. The next zone pulls towards the Gamma building.
But you want to take height?
No, I'm waiting. These guys are gonna have to drop off height in, so you gatekeep them and kill them.
Okay.
Zone hard pulls to like down here. Like if we wipe this team and we play from this side of zone, we're pretty good.
Well, to talk about comms, it seems like these guys are equally as calm and collected as Nibble was, but also a little bit disjointed as there wasn't a bit of clear comms at whether or not how they were going to try to take the height or not. But here we get to see a nice little bit of a rotation coming in from BNK here to see if they can find some height of their own. But in that listening, there was a coin, not a coin, a term that I'm going to coin and use now forever. They are not fighting, they are poking. And that is exactly what I'm going to say every time we're looking for a little bit of information around the map.
100%. And look, I've used the term before, and quite frankly, I think it is a valid and valuable strat, because you've got to level up your Evo shields. And oh my goodness, speaking of shields, potential Viz, they're lacking some of them. That's one player down, and hopefully going to make it. They're on an absolute hair of health. Now, what a potential Viz going to do? Nope, that's a player completely eliminated. That puts them down a man. And oh my goodness, where did those shots come from? That's another man down, one person left. They would be crazy not to be pushing after them. Down go the shots. They're looking to secure this kill. The poor player Carney is also hitting the deck from Cheetah Boy and getting wiped up by the very same player. That puts one player left alive in that team. Not where you want to be in these final rounds. There's still more fighting. My goodness, DNMK, no time to celebrate their victory. Cheetah Boy on very low health. Was that the ring that took him down? Not even sure. DNMK, just as quickly as they sunk their teeth in, they've been bitten themselves. Oh my goodness, DNMK are completely wiped out. OG were looking for a time to pounce, and they found it. And the action still has not finished. Omnius Gaming still sending out shots while they try to lick their wounds. Talk about multitasking. The fights are only going to get more and more intense, and there doesn't seem to be any breathing room for the 5 remaining squads in this match.
Absolutely not. And I mean, DNMK are almost getting their momentum at the peak so that they can keep it going and potentially take over this map. But Ominous Gaming, they reckon they're going to be the ones to do it themselves, as they have just taken over as they W-key DNMK. But I'm not entirely sure what Troy is trying to do. But he manages to get a quick shield swap off there as they're trying to get as many shields on the ground as possible. That's exactly what he was trying to do. Actually, big brain play right there. But regardless, the zone is closing, and it certainly hurts as we are going straight into zone number 4 with 20 seconds left.
My goodness, and I'm sure those 20 seconds are going to feel like an eternity for Team Eternity here. Morpheus, oh my goodness, you poor soul, last person alive, the Octane with gold shields. I'm honestly, I want to be optimistic, but I don't know what he's going to be able to pull out the bag. Pashenchavis also down a member. Carney taking a few rounds to the face. Going to heal up there real quick. And hey, look at that, a Watson ult. So there we see, BNK. Well picked. Carney with the white shield. I assume he's swapped out so that he can safely peek without losing out on his own shield. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. I correct myself. It's because he was respawned, and he's right back in the fight. I love it. The balls on this man. Absolutely fantastic. But will they be able to stand the test of time as BNK, oh my goodness, income through the Watson fences, all of those bullets not being stopped. That's not what they're for. Good fences make good neighbors, but this is not a good neighbor to have as OG just sweep in. Blake still managing to put out the damage. He's the kill leader, but is he about to live out that title for more than 3 seconds? I'm not sure. Hiding in his teammates' knockdown shields was not enough. Eventually, OG sweep them up. But hey, put up a damn good fight. That's 2 people from the attacking team taken out and going out swinging. I tip my hat to you. Well played, BNK.
Absolutely. I mean, that was by the skin of their teeth. It came down to a 1v1. I'm pretty sure they both had no shields. They're trying to play off their teammates as best as possible. But in the end, OG just was that a little bit more aggressive. And to that, they have 2 sets of red Evos. And they have been spotted out, though, as HZA is looking for them as aggressively as OG was looking for HBK. Regardless, here comes the shots. The shots are in 28 times 2 as 56 damage has been put down range onto the side of OG.
Well, it's not somewhere you want to be caught out. Yes, there was a nice care package to dive in on, but at what cost? And Omnius Gaming now having to run away as well, taking massive shots. OG Fortune stopping, returning fire. Jeeves, you better find a rock and fast, my good sir. Taking in that bat is Jeeves, and hopefully back in the fight. There comes a med kit. Fortune laying down the cover fire. I don't know. There is a beacon left that is inside the ring. I don't think it would be wise to try and use the one that's outside. That zone would fry him alive. Okay, and on this, of the last teams remaining, HZA is one of them. Let's go and have a listen in.
Scan again.
There's Rat.
Rat, you went tunnel. You went tunnel.
Okay.
He has to come out of tunnel.
Yep.
Hold him.
I'm with you, Hawker.
Yes, sir.
Respawning. Push respawn. Push the fucking respawn.
Yes,
Don't let
yes,
them
yes.
respawn. It's DNMK respawning. We can't. Take
I'm
this
gonna
building.
sit out on this.
To my left, to my left here.
Watch out, Hawker, you solo.
Yeah, team eliminated.
Cracked.
Nice.
Dead. Zero on me. Almost one clip.
Knock Volk.
Yes, this here.
Crack.
Knocked in!
Let's go! Fucking go! Let's go, boys! I'm fucking done! What did I say?
Let's go! Fucking huge!
Try to win this game, huh?
Let's go!
That was amazing. Couldn't have been a better timed listening there. That was absolute passion to the nth degree as HZA completely W-keyed at the end there. It was OG going for a respawn, not DNMK, but in the end, it doesn't matter as Potential Viz was ratting it out. They got 2 rats very quickly and then just W-keyed and took out OG and got the win, and they got super hyped for it, and absolutely kudos to them. Completely deserved.
I can guarantee you that excitement is very, very well deserved. Not only did they play fantastically, I'm sure that comes as doubly sweet because, if I remember correctly, HZA was not long for this world in the previous match. So jumping from that to a first place victory is massive. Yes, indeed, the 2 remaining teams of it was Eternity and Potential Viz, without being a full team, they tried their best. Jeepers. HZA cleaned them up well and truly, and then OG, they dropped so fast I didn't even get to see what was going on for most of the time, but I know what I don't know what I could see, but I know what I could hear, and that was a lot of joy in HZA's team members' voices. And again, good comms, smart plays, and I think maybe they were a little taken aback by how quickly they claimed that victory. Regardless, well played and well-deserved HZA.
Completely. I mean, almost like a complete turn on its head from the comms of DNMK and Nibble, as they were completely hyped and still concise. But regardless, we'll more on that in a little bit as we're going to a quick intermission break.
Hello and welcome everybody to the ACGL Mythic Catch-Up, where we catch up with players and teams that are competing in ongoing Mythic events. Today I'm joined by Nibble's very own Tenchi. Tenchi, how are you doing today, good sir?
Doing good, new man. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, honestly, it's such a pleasure having you here. But you know what? Let's jump right into it. So one thing I wanted to, just get off my chest is, what are your thoughts on the changes that have come to Mythic, and that being seeing Stormpoint getting added into the map rotation? Do you feel it's been a good change somewhat?
Oh no, I think it's been really good. I like that ACGL's trying to keep up with the ALGS rules. It makes it a lot more competitive. And I enjoy Stormpoint in general, so that just adds to it being really good.
Definitely. I really feel like, with the addition of a new map, it's sort of added a new shake to things and, kept teams on their toes instead of just, practicing good old World's Edge. We have a new map in rotation that teams to start, practicing. So I feel it, keeps things fresh. But this one actually is going to point towards you, and I think this is something you were actually interested in. So this is actually your individual stats over this past qualifier. You dropped 36 kills and racked up a total of 9,306 damage. How are you feeling after the fact? I'm sure you had to be buzzing after such an amazing performance.
Yeah, feels good, man. I mean, honestly, the shocking part about it is that we can't see the stats in game, so it's actually good to hear it. But I mean, it was really fun in general. I like how the lobbies have gotten a lot more competitive, so it feels good to be dropping those kind of numbers in more competitive lobbies.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, it just feels good.
Fantastic stuff to hear. And this actually sort of came as a surprise to me. You guys recently picked up Masuko for Mythic. I'm not sure, if that's a permanent or just a temporary spot, but it's interesting to see him get added into the team after him playing with DNMK in the past. But how has his addition to the team been for your core 3 thus far?
Oh, no, really good. Masuko's inexperienced, so I think it's a good way for him to learn how to play the game. And from a mechanical standpoint, he's a really strong player. I think he's got a good space to learn the game here and compete. And I know he's got the drive, so it's really nice having Masuko play with us. He's subbing for us for Mythic Royale right now. But yeah, I mean, pretty much just really good to have him by our side. Really strong player. Very proud of how far he's come.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can all agree that Masuga really has come quite a long way in such a short amount of time that he has started playing the game. So it really is, quite great to see him, playing alongside you and Chambi. You guys really have been doing exceptionally well. And, speaking on that, this is actually going into my next question. So looking at the performance of Nibble as a whole, it's just yet again another dominant performance from you guys, seeing you guys break 100 points, the only team to break 100 points in the qualifier, claim back-to-back wins on World's Edge, and then drop 76 kills in 4 games. I mean, that is it's phenomenal. You guys just somehow always keep that consistency of not only aggressive gameplay, but also smart and always know how to hold your own in what you guys do. But you know what I'm interested more in is come finals. I'm sure you guys want retribution from season 1 Mythic, right? And gunning for that top spot. But do you feel there's any work to be done going into the finals, or do you feel that you guys are fully prepared to claim the win come finals?
I mean, I think we're quite prepared. Last finals, we kind of had a plan of what we wanted to do in the finals, and it fell through. It didn't really work how we wanted to do it. We kind of wanted to just get the 50 points and then play slow and just hope for a win. And it kind of messed us up because then it just made things really awkward. So I think we've got a better plan for this finals, and I think we're really prepared. Hopefully we win this time.
Definitely. I'm sure you guys definitely want to claim that top spot, and we'll have to see when the time comes. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been our time for today. Thank you so much for coming out today, Tenchi. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, honestly, can't wait to see what you and the team have prepared for us on the battlefield. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time on the next Mythic Royale catch up. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. And that's that.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mythic Royale Finals. And if you are watching your screen at any way, shape and form, you can see to my right here, there is a new face to be beloved. Mr. Daddy Cool, thank you very much for joining us. How are you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling like I have power. Yep, load shedding, booked me a bit late here, but I'm here now and I'm excited. I heard you guys at the epic end of a game where you had to listen and everything. I missed it, but I'm ready to cast the rest of this action. How's it been so far, boys?
Well, look, Steven, you walk us through it.
Well, to say that it's been anything less than absolutely sensational, I think would be underselling it. We've seen the powerhouse Nibble come in on game 1 and just wipe the floor, and we've also seen an absolute turnaround with them getting beaten to the punch and knocked out along with DNMK, and our last game with a gorgeously timed listen-in with HZA taking home the win and a whole bunch of passionate words. Quite frankly, this is what we signed up for. So, if this is anything to go by, I hope the next games continue to follow this.
Oh, I'm excited for the next games, eh?
Well, on that note, I will still be here, but in spirit, I'll be here between games for the casting side of things. It is going to be Daddy Cool and Snowball Ninja carrying you through the play-by-plays, but I'll be here to add a little bit of analytical spice in the end, as it is going to be a banger set of games, as we will be changing maps as we go over to Stormpoint. So if you could be so kind as to bring up where the landing spots are for this current map.
Oh, goody. Stormpoint.
Stormpoint is great. Competitively, it's a fantastic map. It's got some longer rotations, more POI, there's more distance between people. So, I really like it for a competitive map. So I'm excited to see what the teams do. This is game 3 we are loading into now, if I am correct. So, how are there standings available? I just got here, guys. I need all the info ASAP.
Yeah, thanks, Escom, for chucking Daddy in the deep end.
So standings at the moment are a little bit iffy because we had a reset of the first lobby, but I think that I can. So the voice of God could confirm something. That'd be great.
So... okay. Yes.
Okay. So scoring is still being done, so no standings as of right now. But I'm pretty sure in first place is still going to be Nibble at 29. Last checked. Underneath him will be most likely HZA now because they ended off really strongly at the previous game. So I think that it's a little bit topsy-turvy. No team on 50 points as of yet. So we will be at the very least seeing a game 4, which is great.
Whew. Okay, good. Okay, great news.
Speaking of the standings and the points, however, though, like with this shift up, obviously we're like, hey, HZA taking home a win. That's gonna impact the standings quite a bit. However, what do you think is going to become of DNMK, because they haven't taken home the win just yet, but it's been a decent performance. Where do you think their morale is, and where do you think their standing is as well?
So we've seen that DNMK has been struggling in this Mythic Royale for some odd reason. Sometimes it's just not your day, not your week, and sometimes just not your tournament. But I know these players personally. Every single one of them are goated. They play well together as a team. Sometimes your rotations just don't work as you really would like. So yeah, if they haven't been performing yet, it's game 3 now. I'm pretty sure they're pretty high up on the leaderboard still, and we see here all the teams are loading in. Look at this meta. Ooh, not a lot of gibbies and fuses. Okay, you love to see it. So yeah, I think their morale is probably a bit lower, but they just need that one game, that one morale booster. And as soon as they hit that, they're probably going to be sky high and going to just keep on that momentum. So let's see if they're able to catch the momentum in this game as we load into game 3 here on Stormpoint.
100%. Let's just touch on those picks real quick. I saw a bunch of Ashe now, as opposed to not a single Ashe pick in the previous 2 matches. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But also, for the life of me, I didn't catch the team that it was, but I saw a team comp of Sia, Gas Daddy, Caustic, and Octane. Let's have a look there, see if I can spot that with my Eagle Vision. That's Team Eternity, Dead Rabbit, Morpheus, and Skadi. What do you make of that pick?
They can't make up their mind if they want to be aggressive or defensive. That's they're not going to be a master of one trait. They're going to be jack of all. I seem to be having a bit of technical difficulties here.
Lobby crash. Yes, that is what that would be. So as we can see,
yes,
Stormpoint is still not a nice map, Daddy Cool. This is what happens when you try and play on it.
I have my theory. It's because there's this new Easter egg in the game showing a whole new map. you know, sometimes when they add these cool new features, they break something. It's such an interesting conundrum. That's my theory why this might be happening. As you said, there was a crash on game 1, but that means we can analyze. I mean, do you think that was a mispick? Maybe sometimes you go to the bathroom, your teammate picks your legend, maybe he picks Seer, and then he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna play Seer this game." Like, oh yeah, that's good. And it's like, oh shit, you're there, you're literally with your pants down, and then you get thrown with an Octane, or maybe they just goated.
Look, I would hope that at this level of competitive play, there are no accidents, at least when it comes to picking your legends. However, anything is indeed possible, like picking Caustic and Octane. Now, I'm sure that crash is going to be very upsetting, but here's the thing. I did not see a single Ash pick in the first 2 games, all right? Now they're picking Ash on Stormpoint. From your gorgeous little analytical face, do you think that's map related? And if so, why?
I definitely think it could be map related. Actually, so interestingly enough, we played a scrim this weekend. We didn't see Ashes really either. The meta was like, funny enough, Watson, Newcastle, obviously Seer, and then Valkyrie. So this Ash pick, the Ash is just good because this is game 3, right? We've discussed this in previous Royals as well, where game 3 is usually, especially with the match point system, is where you want to now try and catch up to those leaders to get yourself as close to match point as possible. And Ash is really a legend that allows you to, if you do get that knock, to quickly capitalize the most safely. Where, you know, Octane, you're not safe because you're vulnerable in the air, and lots of these players can track you out of the air. Pathfinder, obviously, you're not safe at all because it's just a static straight line. You always get beam one of those. So Ash is like, if you get a knock, you can instantly capitalize on it. So I think that it might not be map specific, it might be game specific. Game 3 might be where people are realizing, hey, we need to pick up the tempo to put some points on the board. That's my theory. If I'm wrong, you know, somebody in chat will probably let me know.
Mayhaps. I mean, look, the ult and the ability to close that distance very quickly in a larger map like Stormpoint, maybe that is part of the play. I'm not sure how much these ties bind will be coming into play, because man, that thing moves slower than my love life. So I'm not sure. It's curious.
Like as the
Ask you to comment on the fact that there is no gosh darn Mirage picks.
You know, I have a dream, okay, that one day Mirage, they're gonna do something to my boy, and he's just gonna be the most meta legend. But honestly, you know what the problem is with Mirage? He's too difficult to play. You need 5 ed. You don't play Mirage, you play your enemy when you play with Mirage, you know. So honestly, nobody's just really realized just how good he is. So that's on them. And somebody just needs to risk it. We need like he's Watson or some pro player to just really show people what can be done. You know, it's like, look at Seer. You know, Seer wasn't picked for like a good part of like 4 seasons, and he didn't get changed at all, and now he's everywhere because somebody realized, hey, man's good. So I don't know, man. That's my theory. Okay.
Well, in that previous sentence of yours, you did mention Watson, and in the last game we saw a Watson pick. And for me, I brought it up with Connor, and I'm interested as to your thoughts as well. Watson for me feels like the end game pick, because it's and still, like, again, Stormpoint is big. It's quite open. There's a lot of ground to cover often between your kind of points of cover. So I'm interested what you think, because for me, Watson is a CQB legend. Those fences are there so that you can keep people out. That ultimate is to lock down your point of cover, your building, your structure of choice. For obviously the shields, as well as negating incoming projectiles. So it was interesting to see that Watson pick again from at least one of the teams. Do you think they are wasting a slot with that, or do you think they're onto something very cool?
So, like I said, the scrims we did this week for VNM, it was Watson, Newcastle, and then Valkorsia, right? And what Newcastle and Watson together specifically allow you to do is make cover anywhere. Because sometimes you get caught in a zone where there's no cover. You can put down a wall that has so much HP and at endgame, people don't always necessarily have resources to put into a wall like that. You have fences that people can't easily push you. They have to spend some time to shoot the fence nodes, so you can catch them off guard. If they do go through your fence, if you play your fence as well, we've seen some crazy Watsons out there. You know, they get slow, they take damage. So I think if they didn't have the Newcastle, obviously she's still a great defensive legend if you do manage to set up in a building, being able to deny fuse or saw a few fuses. They were able to deny Gibby, Bangalore with her ult. Her ult obviously is free shield regen, late game as well. Sometimes you don't have shields. We've all been there where you just don't have shields. Her ult is free shields for the whole team. That allows you to poke and trade without using any shields, where the rest of the players' teams won't be able. They need to expend resources. So there's a lot of value in Watson, definitely. Very, very high level play, I think, with her. You will especially see her in the ALGS in the more of the, I think, NA region, not so much the EU region. Every region has its own meta, right? Because certain players have certain play styles. Answer is Apex is a balanced game, and every legend is great and has a place. And if you're comfortable with Watson, if that's like that team's comfort legend, and that player knows how to play her well, they can take her all the way to victory. You know, so that's my final verdict. But yeah, she's a great legend. I think she definitely has a place, especially like you said, late game.
I do have to agree, because at the end of the day, yes, you say like the balance is there, and there may be certain legends, certain weapons that are, you know, more meta than others. But I did touch on this with Connor. There is something to be said about a comfort pick. Playing a legend that may not be as picked or have the highest win rate, but because you yourself are confident on it, that might be a factor. That confidence in your execution could be the deciding factor. And what's interesting here, now you mentioned Newcastle, so my boy Connor quite keen on Newcastle and is convinced that he is a sleeping dog and must be awoken so that he may take part in the blood sport that is Apex Legends. So what do you think? You mentioned him being a solid addition to Watson for the, oh damn, we're in the middle of nowhere, we need cover right now. Outside of that, do you see him having more usage?
He's got a ton of value. Obviously, like we said now as well, with Ash being able to quickly capitalize on a push, right? He's one of the few legends who could actually punish you for pushing like that. He can get that shield off, and then if you communicate well with your team, your teammate can play behind that shield while your teammate is getting raised. So that offers a lot. And if there's good communication in teams, we've seen this as well, a high-level player, teams play it so well. He will literally be sticking a res. The other player that's still up is right behind him, shooting the team that's trying to capitalize. Usually when you do try and capitalize on a knock or something like that, you put yourself out of position, you know, risk it for that biscuit. And then it could be detrimental for that team who does end up pushing. So he has a lot of value in that sense. Obviously, he's got that great barricade that also for the first 30 seconds while it's up, nobody can climb over it from enemy teams without getting shocked and slowed like Watson. And on top of that, he has the wall. And unlike Gibby's wall, you can actually move. So you can move cover to cover kind of safely, like kind of in a Pathfinder way where there was a zipline or a Wraith ult or even an Ash ult. It's slower, sure, but it's like a safe little, you know, huddle up and move into safety like that. So I think he has a ton of value. I think he's definitely, like I said, not slept on in the super pro scene. This is our South African scene. We heard there that Captain Trout was like, yeah, I told you. Obviously, this is our South African team, our South African meta. Like I said, every country, every region has its own meta. And we definitely have that Valk Seer meta. I feel we had Gibby and Gastad in a lot. So I think definitely if you do put your time into learning him, he's great. But obviously now, Mad Maggie is also a massive counter towards him. And that's what's kind of nice. The more meta he becomes, the more meta she becomes, which always makes it fun. It kind of keeps on shaking up the which legends are viable. I personally love Mad Maggie. I love her energy, number one. She's just like such a badass. But mostly the fact that she can like get people out of buildings, force them out of cover and stuff like that. She has a lot of value in that sense as well. And she's straight up a hard counter to Newcastle, but there aren't enough Newcastle picks and funny enough Gibby picks at the moment to make her that viable. So yeah.
Indeed, curious, because we often think like, oh, this is what we're picking because it goes well together as a team. But you also got to remember, you're also counter picking because legends do have things that help deal with or counter other legends. So that's why I'm curious to pick your brain about that Caustic pick. Gas Daddy coming into play. Now, Caustic's all about that kind of area control and area denial. And so for me, especially in a more open map, a bit curious. Additionally curious, and this is my silver brain coming in, Bruce. So that Gas Daddy pick was with a team that picked Sia and Octane. Very curious kind of matchup to my little silver brain, but do you, my good sir, have anything to add that maybe I'm not thinking about?
So what I would could think that could be like, yo, I feel like you're putting me here on some sort of analyst. We need like a pro player, you know. But what it would most likely be, obviously, Seer is a scan legend, so he can a recon legend, so he can scan. Octane does allow kind of fast rotations. And so if they can scan early, rotate quickly into a building and set up in that building and play from there. And also he does allow you to capitalize on a kill if you do manage to get a knock. Obviously Caustic as well, like you said, has massive error now. Caustic is a great legend in the sense of he has defense and he has both offense and defense. That's what makes him better in some ways than Watson, for example, because Watson is purely defensive and she has a shield regen, sure. But he can hunker up in a building. But if you do want to go and push a team, you just chuck that big gas bubble on them. They get slowed, they get forced out of cover, so they're easy pickings. And then you can obviously push on that with the Octane. So most likely they want to hunker up somewhere, take picking fights, poking fights, try and get a knock or somebody really low, chuck the gas ult, and then just yeet onto that team. So that could be the reasoning. And again, it's comfort. Comfort cannot be understated. That is, if anybody here, Dota, the international is going on right now, and we have seen people win millions of dollars playing their comfort picks. Because sometimes just knowing your limits better than the enemy team, knowing your legend better than the enemy knows the legend they're trying to play for the meta, has so much more value and can give you the edge in any situation. So yeah, it could just be that player's favorite legend, and if he knows how to use them well, then he could be an unstoppable force. So yeah,
I'm trying not to let my ADHD tangent too hard into the TI, but you say like playing those comfort picks. All I think of, man, is like back in TI4, like kind of TI5 Sumail, bro. Just like, cool, I'll just play Storm Spirit.
Yeah,
but I don't
why
care
not,
that
you know?
anyway.
Exactly.
but hey, look, here's the thing. You mentioned it's a while back, so my ADHD is going to jump on it. It's interesting to see, like, you know, no Parthy. There's no Parthy, and that being like just beamed out of the air because of that straight line vector. I think about the clay pigeon kind of effect of Legends. So Octane on a jump pad is a fairly, that's a fairly straightforward thing. Yes, you got your double jump to change it up, but once that's gone, man, you're on one path and that's headed down.
Yeah.
So a team with good tracking will drop you. Valkyrie, yes, we like Skyward Dive, but you don't fly that fast.
Yeah.
When you're
not
just
anymore,
using
not
your
after the
jetpack.
nerfs, yeah.
Yeah, so that to me is just, you're a floating headshot. And I think about Horizon as well. Space Mommy, you are going one way and that's up. So again, a good track and you're being sent from the sky to the ground. What are your thoughts on that? Because like, does that then eliminate? Again, Parthy, we haven't even seen being picked. Does that eliminate a big part of Octane's kit? Is having his jump pad even viable at this point? What are your thoughts on some of those more clay pigeon effect legends?
So I think one of the main reasons we haven't seen Parthy that much in competitive is he used to be the only legend who could actually scan beacons, right? Now you have like, I think 6 or 7 legends who can scan beacons who offer more. And usually you only need one recon legend, right? So you already have the Seer, you already have the Valk. Those are your most popular recon legends. So why would you need a Parthy? Rotations, Valk does that better. If you have a Seer, if you want rotations, again, you'd rather run Seer and Valk than Seer and Parthy or Valk and Parthy. So it's like his kit just doesn't stand out. He's a great one-on-one fighter, sure, if he is in one-on-one fight, but this is a team game after all. So Pathfinder, you will see a lot of like, there will always sometimes be comfort picks where people play Pathfinder because they know they can take down a whole team on Pathfinder alone because they're playing that well. But that's kind of a risk, right? Because you don't always know. So I think, and then in the sense of Octane has that small bit of a benefit where he has like HP regen. He can, his launch pad is much shorter cooldown than Pathfinder, so you can rapidly, again, rotations are very, very, very important. And with tap strafing being a thing, the launch pad tap strafe makes it even more difficult to shoot, allows for some interesting plays and everything. So I think, yeah, obviously Valk, she's got the biggest rotation in the game, basically. So there's a no-brainer. Sure, you can get shot, but it's pretty difficult. And then who was the last one you mentioned? Oh, Space Mommy. We see her a lot. Although if she strafes on that Space Mommy thingy, the gravity lift.
Gravity lift, yes.
Yeah. She is quite difficult to hit, even though it is up. You go sideways. Her ult is massive. You know,
Absolutely.
like we saw talking about Dota, Enigma Black Hole. It's literally
Hell yeah.
the black hole. You chuck in a
Where's
grenade or
Kobe
two.
when you need him?
I know, right? But it just wombo combos together, and it allows you to quickly team wipe a team. So it's always like you always have to take. You can't look at one ability of a legend. You have to look at the whole range of what they offer. So again, she offers her ult where you can then. We've seen so many times how a team gets wiped in under 10 seconds with a well-placed gravity Newton. What's the
Singularity.
Singularity, that's the one. See Silverbrain here knows the names. Crikey. Mr. I'm a bot.
It's because I know what I die to a lot. That's why.
Yeah, I don't die. I don't know. I don't learn. I just bamboozle. So yeah, in that sense, yeah, you have to go check where the value lies. Sure, Pathfinder can rotate his team, but it's the most easy one to shoot, and it's quite a long cooldown. Ooh, we have standings. Okay.
Hello.
So like you said earlier, we have Nibble on 29, Empire on 15, Omnius on 13, Early Access 8, DNMK on 8 as well. So DNMK, even though we said they had a bit of a slow running start, they are still top 5 right now, so they're not far from the top at all. I mean, Nibble could, with a decent game now, get onto match point, but we've seen this before, how a team can get shut down and go from all the way first to be like the last team to get match point, you know.
Absolutely, and surprisingly, not seeing HZA up near the top either, despite their win. DNMK, I see that lackluster performance in the beginning match has hurt them, but it's great to see Omnius pulling into the top 3 along with Empire. Early Access, well done as well. Plenty of TWC on that leaderboard, which to me just says, at least in terms of your other places, your non-podium places, there's still all to play for. Yes, Nibble is standing on that number 1 spot with a significant point lead, but this is a battle royale, and who knows? You said it could put them within match point grasp, but it could also send them right down to the bottom with a poor landing, a one misstep, one bad flank.
Well,
it could happen.
I don't want to jinx, don't want to do caster curse. I'm touching wood for Nibble, but last Mythic Royale, they were the first team on match point on like game 4, and then game 7, a different team ended up like a total of 6 teams were on match point in the end, and they didn't win. So being first on match point doesn't mean it, it means something, but like if you can't, it's almost like there's more pressure because now you have to win. Well, like if you want to get to match point, you just want kills, you want points, right? But now you have to win. And once you feel like you have to win, because we saw last time as well, they changed up their comp a lot when they realized they have to win. And then again, you're not playing to your comfort. You're playing to play, and you're care more about placement than kills. But then again, you're not playing what you are comfortable with personally, and that could end up biting you in the foot. So maybe they should slow it down a bit. You know, not to put themselves under too much pressure. That could be an idea. I don't know. Maybe a pro tip from Daddy, guys. Just try it. I don't know. Throw a game
Absolutely.
just to get in.
Look, the thing is, Nibble's been so wonderfully aggressive from the get-go, and it worked for them in game 1, and game 2, unfortunately, look, it's a battle royale. We don't have eyes everywhere, and they did drop off camera, so I can't tell you exactly like how and why they were kicked out. I'm not sure, but it just goes to show anything that can happen will happen in a battle royale, and so don't count out these other teams. Yes, you've got that lead. Don't let it get to your head. Play your game. Stick to your strengths, and at the end of the day, be ready for anything.
Yeah, who has to win will win. You know, if you're the best team, you'll win, and that sometimes it's just not your day. Like we said, sometimes it's not your day, not your week, not your tournament, and it can be anybody's game. And that's what's so fun about Battle Royale and Apex Legends is the fact that, you know, the best team will win, but it's also the team who manages to keep their cool, right? Because honestly, at some point, it's like all these teams are basically equal, right? And when do you, like, then it's just about making that perfectly right decision at the right time, at the right place, you know? Then it's like, it's kind of, I want to say random, but it isn't random because you do have control. The choices you make affect your outcome, and it's so beautiful. It's so exciting to watch. So yeah, we are apparently getting ready for Lobby 3 now. Can't wait to get into that. Sorry for the delay, guys. Sometimes, you know, ESCOM affects and power, internet down the line somewhere else. You guys know the struggle we are in. we're all in this together. We love our country, even though it doesn't love us back, you know.
Look, Storm Point, all I'm saying, had some electrical interference. That's what they get for placing a Bloodsport map right in the middle of a very active weather zone. But speaking of Storm Point, here we go again. We see kind of our heat map, as it were, with all the different names. Now, very cool. This is interesting because this is what we've seen thanks to the qualifiers. Do you think, again, we're going to see more sticking to their guns, or are we going to shake it up a little bit?
I think a gentleman's agreement, you usually do try and not go in contest. But if you're one of the teams getting contested, like you can see at Launchpad, we have Early Access and Empire, and we have Barometer, we have Potential Viz and Dark Esports. With those both being contested, it might be one of those teams feel like, you know what, we can fight TWC. We'd rather go and opt and drop on them. You know, nothing prohibits you from doing that. It's honest, it's just gentleman's agreement, and there's no rule against contesting a team. So if you feel you can beat a team and you can get more value on dropping on them, then you have to go and do it. But yeah, you brought up earlier that HZA aren't on the score point. If they won, they should have at least 12 points. So I do believe that is an outdated standing that we were looking at there.
Understandable.
Yes, I can't wait to see that updated one here.
Look at all the space, mommy.
Hey, she is good. She offers a lot. Again, I was actually trying to get to that point as well with her. If you can take a fight cleanly without spending too much resources, it prevents third partying. You get more resources out of it if you take a fight as clean as she allows you to do. She has a lot of value in that sense. So if you get that good ult off, you're in for a good time. But yeah, there we see these players are ready. We are getting into game 3. Let's see what these teams can do.
Indeed, and just as we go into there, I see Eternity with the same picks as last time, which is curious. The Sia, the Caustic, and the Octane. And speaking of Octane, we've got one over here as well, and the only Ash pick, as opposed to multiple Ash picks the last time. That was the only Ash pick this time around. What does that mean for the game ahead? I guess we're going to find out. Here's OG dropping in.
Ooh, they drop quickly onto the launch cannon to get to Lightning Rod as fast as possible. That's actually a smart way to get, you know, this is a very, very vertical map. I don't know if you noticed, but that high point is really high compared to Barometer. If you're flying there in the middle, it's actually really difficult to get to Lightning Rod in places like that. So that's a good way for them. Look at the double rotation. They are now basically here. Here we see another team, Echo Wolf 2, Echo Weir Wolf. I'm going to keep with that naming convention. If there's more than one team name, I'm going to just make you like I don't know what the word is. My English isn't the best, okay? But anyway, Echo Weir Wolf is here, and actually Omnius is a team that's close, and they are a full console lobby. I love to see these console teams taking part in these, making it to these finals, and you know, holding their own against like some of the best in the country on PC. It's so good to see. And I'm excited to see how this game goes. Yo, Potential Viz found themselves some great armors at the start here, but this is Barometer. This is what you expect. But they do get contested on this drop, if I remember correctly. So we'll have to wait and see.
Indeed, and we can see there our team of Potential Viz is nicely stocked. However, Dark Esports did land to contest them. Maybe not quite as well stocked, but shields aren't everything, because if you've got plenty of shields and nothing to shoot back with, that's going to be a problem. So the clash of the looting is kicking off. Was that a shot or was that a fuse ult? I didn't even hear what that was. That's fine. Regardless, two teams in close proximity. I'm pretty sure they know that they landed together, but do they know their actual location? And it seems everybody. I have to say it's a slower start. World's Edge, there were immediately fights going off. Wraith apparently deciding that climbing up there was not her best idea. Dark Esports 2, we're back with them again, and again, I think they're just scoping it out. They know that Potential Viz is nearby, but I don't think they want to be the ones to get spotted first. So here's Echoia Wolf, as you said, and just deciding that that's what's it called? The flyer is no longer going to be their pet. Sending a few rounds there. I'm pretty sure we have to call Peter over that. That's a war crime. But we'll get back to that at the end of the day. The lawsuits, the laws and regulations surrounding a blood sport, an underground blood sport, maybe are slightly different to real life. Omnius Gaming, we now move with as they rotate around into Prowler Camp, looking for a bit more loot. They're going to have quite a ways to go to get into that first ring, but still plenty of time to do it. 4 minutes on the clock and plenty of loot to be had.
Definitely. You can just see the power here of the Seer just like running out and ADSing the whole time. And just know that, we can safely push. That team's not here. We're good. We're good. Yeah, OG, they are close here. From that teams we saw earlier, it's not always a good idea to take that first fight. Even though you get contested, you can safely loot and go fight. Okay, wait, we're going to see a fight.
Speaking of
drop here.
fights.
There we have the Seer ult being dropped. So they know where this solo player is. Oh, shame. He was too slow in their looting rotation. He was probably telling his team like, guys, they're gonna run past me. But this is the Seer meta. You can't. It doesn't work like that anymore. If there's a team close, your team has to get to you ASAP, and you need to be ready to defend yourself. Unfortunately, gets taken out. Already just scanning if there's anybody else nearby. They've realized that this man's team abandoned him. And yeah, I think that's a 2-man squad for the rest of the game.
Most unfortunate, and yeah, Seer meta strongly hitting you in the face there. They fully committed, and I think they would have been about as surprised as we were to find only one person hiding in that little house there. Jumping in with Empire, we see them decently looted up. I do love how, personally, I like the wingman with the sniper ammo. I just think the blue fits the wingman. It's a vibe.
Sense, it hits like a truck, so it should take a truck's bullet. You know, it checks out
100%.
mathematically.
100%. So Empire moving swiftly forward. They seem to have spotted somebody, and hey, look at that. That is going to be a rapidly closing ring. And speaking of rapidly closing, Free or No Cap have enemies rapidly closing right now. Up in the air is Valkyrie, and there goes the singularity. Very, very quick. Very, very quick reaction times. Free or No Cap, however, are not out of the woods yet. That's a lot of bullets coming in. Exo going down. Nando trying to keep his teammates alive. C is taking so many bullets. I don't know how long they can hold out. What are they going to do? The reload's coming in. That's an aggressive push, and it's getting pushed down. But no, Exo cannot keep his team alive. Free or No Cap has been put down, again, very early, which is really, really unfortunate for them. Empire, however, guess what? This is Apex Legends, third-party central. You don't have time to celebrate your victory. You've got shots incoming. They're going to try and lick their wounds as quickly as possible. In comes the Valkyrie Q, deciding that rock, just screw you in general. They were not there, thankfully. Radex appear to be the team, yes, that are closing in on the Seer ults out. Out go the Thermites as well. Hailstorm, Hail Mary, in come all of the grenades. And some nice long-range engagement tools here. Out goes the longbow for the long-distance poking. They know where they are. Can they capitalize on the Seer ult and make them pay? They've definitely taken too long to catch them while they were hurt. They're going to have fully healed up and shielded back up. But now, what are they going to do? Are they going to stick around and try and fight this fight with Radex, or are they going to try and rotate? What do you think is the optimal strategy here, Daddy Cool?
Definitely. I think Radex has to rotate, but I think that the likes of Empire might have realized, like, hey, this team is a team we could fight comfortably. They really turned that fight around in a situation they shouldn't have been able to. And sometimes that gives you confidence to push, but that could be false confidence as it could punish you up later. So hopefully they just know that it's the rotation that's important. We know that these new zones are so fast and so punishing. If you do take a fight, if you look again, zone 3 is on your booty. So yeah, they probably just opt to fly out. As we can see there, they are flying there through Jurassic Park. We see another fight here happening. There have got to be fights popping off all over the map. That's what happens with this new it's DNMK though. This new fast zone. You know, it's a dangerous one. Massive nade comes, hits a Quill. Viaz, Cheetah Boy gets his battle off. He's going to hold out for his team right now. That arc doesn't connect. That's good news for them. They're able to reset for a second. But Quill is still low on health. He needs to try and get that health up before he's in a safe space to fight. But as we know, also, the longer these fights drag out, the more dangerous it becomes, the bigger the chance of a third party. But we can see there in the kill feed, Carnivore got a knock onto Cyberstorm with the Kraber. That is also now DNMK are now finding. They find the launch. Big shots by Cheetah Boy. It's not enough, but they are, wherever they go, they might be in danger. If they can connect a few more shots, it could be good. Unfortunately, nice try there by Cheetah Boy. That team actually opted to go away, fly away. It's just a bit safer. Wait, who's in here? Wait, who was that?
That was Cyberstorm getting taken out.
No, wait, but that wasn't by Viaz and them.
That's confusing. I think the kill feed is just having a little bit of a moment. That's fine. Look, DNMK, despite being bullied in the teeth, healed up and pushed up to them. Wild. I don't think they knew that they were about to rotate out, but they still went in and pushed. And speaking of pushing, Omnius now pushing through this. Oh my goodness, who is that they're fighting? I don't know. But OG taking multiple rounds to the face. Troy is going to have to heal up. But I mean, look at this aggression. I say he's going to have to heal up, but that's my silver brain talking. In they go. Sia is ready, checking those heartbeats. Up they
But
go.
they're disengaging. This is an aggression. This is getting out of
I
there.
thought they were
'cause it's-
chasing them. That is my
No, no.
See, silver brain. Silver brain, I told you.
No, this
But-
is the better choice. You don't want to be taking these fights. It's 17 squads left. You know, it's a big chance of getting third party. If you get trapped inside of here, it's going to be very difficult for you to make it out alive. You know, the third parties will come in and then you have a sandwich. You don't want to be the ham in the ham sandwich. Just a lot of them to rotate out. We see Nibble here also rotating out. Everybody just trying to find their way now. I think we're going to have about 40 seconds of calm. I might be talking too soon, but as people plan their rotations and stuff around the map, we do hear a few shots being fired in the distance. Oh, yeah, there at the bottom left. Those are the barometer. Wait, there's a team still in zone at barometer? Excuse me, what? But let's see what gets up here. They're going to do some spiders while these teams are going ham at each other. Oh, there's a knock there from Russo onto King Caesar.
And this is interesting because we know now, thanks to this update, the zone doth not tickle anymore. It does kind of slap. So interesting that they're still wanting to play along the edges here. But trying to confirm their kills is empty wallets to get a bit of cash in said wallets. And now they will have a few loot boxes to peruse and snack on. I'm not sure what their next rotation is going to be, but they're going to have to move fast. 30 seconds before that ring close. And yeah, look, they are still running out of zone. And Dark Esports in a hotly contested battle here. There goes the grenade and waves goodbye. There's our gas daddy making his appearance. And again, that aerial denial out goes to CQ, connecting with nobody at the moment. But oh my goodness, Omnius off screen, getting taken out by Nibble. My goodness, the Titans clash and Nibble come out on top. It looks like whoever they're fighting here, Dark Esports, are not having the best time. This gas steady, I'm not sure how much is going to be able to do for them. Out go the grenades, multiple shots. Dark Esports, Sia getting shredded, but out come more of the shots. That's Dead Rabbit down. And can they push in and solidify this fight? The Octane trying to make it out, but no, Eternity, not long for this world. Taken out, well played and well pushed by Dark Esports. They are going to have to manage that health a little bit, because here comes the zone. Zone is not a problem at the moment for Nibble Esports. That team is going to be pushed strongly into the building, and it looks like there's a bit of gatekeeping going on here. I'm not sure like what their play is here. Do they want to try and push this? A lot of grenades going out. We know Nibble's a strong and aggressive team, but is this the play for the... Well, actually, I say is this the play? Looking at the map, this is their only play. They don't have the ability to rotate out.
And let's listen into what they...
I've got nades, okay? I'm gonna start nading, and then I'm gonna try and move off.
There is one guy like here on that like roof.
Fuck's sakes.
I don't know, guys. I think
No,
we
okay.
just go back.
Just go back. It's fine.
We can just tank down. I only have 4 syringes.
I have 2 medkits I can give you one.
Like, I did give entry, but I had to keep on healing constantly.
No, I had to finish.
Like, I did so much damage to them, it's actually fucking stupid.
Got ult in like 30%, bro, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's better we just go here.
Fucking that blues, bro, unlucky.
Whew-wee. So as we can see, they do opt to actually... I mean, these are the titans of the lobby, and they know when it's a good time to fight and when not, right? So well played there by them. They opt to actually get out, take some zone damage, but that is a smarter choice, as they will actually be able to get higher placement. We've talked about it. Placement is the most important thing. Ooh, but Echo will find a spot. They do the big sucky with the
Singularity.
Grav mommy singularity. You just put Grav mommy in my mind. So that's gotta be the name for the day. They do get 1 knock at least, and now they do finish off that team, get themselves some points, get a few lobbies. Oh, early access being killed in the kill feed as well. I don't know if they were the team who got early access there. Nope. They're people are flying all across the map now. I said about 40 seconds of quiet, right? And it's been 40 seconds now. It's just mayhem. It feels like with the new zones, it's like a few seconds of madness and then a bit of quiet. A few seconds of madness, bit of quiet. Anyway, so yeah, they're trying to find this team here. Empire is chasing on this team. We're gonna hear what their train of thought is as they chase this team.
No thanks. That's all you guys.
I killed the 2 bottom.
Can't believe I missed 2 easy shots from that guy.
Unlucky, man.
It happens to the best of us, man. Unfortunately, we catch them just as they're done with their action. But at least they're cool, calm, and collected. Though sounds like they're more disappointed in themselves for not getting a kill on that team. But you know, they're in here now. They chase that team to be in an awkward position. Sometimes if you're just able to like really force a team to force them into a bad rotation, that's good for you because they might catch a different team in a bad rotation, kill each other in zone, and get you some placement. You know, so it's not the worst, but yeah, you can be disappointed in yourself. But they're just like, yeah, so we could have done better, guys. I love the energy.
The calm, the chill, cool, calm, collected is always just so shocking to me because I know I'm panicking whenever I'm even vaguely in an engagement. But BNK, Blake, the only one left alive. The respawn's timed out, and it's a Valk with a bow and an R301. Is that the beginning of a bad joke or a massive comeback story? Who the frick is still sitting in zone over there? I don't know. Dark Esports, one man down, still got the delivered to Beacon. But here we go. We've got some more action heading your way here. TWC Flood pushing in to get out of the way of that zone. We saw Radex get dropped a little while ago, and DNMK as well has been taken out. Yep, here they are. Potentiaviz just vibing.
They have been in the zone for like... Wait, why are they heat shields?
I don't know. And here's the thing. They are in the middle of zone, and they don't have a Valkyrie. Are they even going to make it? I saw a one heat shield there, but this is a chunky zone, man. I don't know. Speaking of chunking, Empire is sending out multiple shots, chunking basically the ground. No shots landed there, but hey, letting you know that they are in fact there. Empire trying to push up towards the higher ground as the zone does close in. They know there's another team up there. Multiple Skynets going out.
This is dangerous.
Empire fighting their Potentiaviz was eliminated. Cooked alive like ready-made popcorn. My goodness gracious. Empire rotating around the left here to push up. And here begins round 4. Nibble takes out Breath Air in the kill feed there. Empire, I'm not actually sure who they are currently engaged with. They're checking their backs, but I don't think anybody else is behind them at the moment. Especially not in this zone.
Well, I mean, Potentiaviz could have been behind them.
Could have been if they weren't cooked alive. SLX as well, biting the dust. We move up with TWC, making their way towards the zone. Again, the Seer coming in so clutch here. Just that extra, what's the word I'm looking for? That extra confidence being able to push up, knowing that there's no beating hearts at your 12 o'clock. So just we can't hear them at the moment, but they're busy, I'm sure, chatting about where they're going to be rotating. Nibble taking a quick little looting break and in a very strong position here to move up to, I think, where the other team was pinging as well. So I feel like we're going to have quite the clash here. We've got 6 squads still alive, and Zone 4 to be closing in soon. Dark and TWC both down a member. I don't... yeah. Not great. Not great in the final circle.
Half empty or half full. Would you say they're half empty or half full teams? You know what? Are you a glass half full, glass half empty type
I'm a
of
glass
guy?
half full kind of guy, but
guys, so these teams are half
yikes.
full, but not this team that was trying to sneak up, get caught out again. Because Seer can just sniff their fear, you know. So unfortunately, they have to now do a weird rotation. This is a really, really tough zone to play into. You have this massive heal to run into. Ooh, TWC Burrito has a Kraber in his hand, though. If you take that shot, not only do you make people scared of your location, but sometimes you put a target on your back. Because, you know, there are players in this lobby like who want Kraber. You know, and they will literally kill for Kraber. And, you know, it's a blood sport, like you've been pointing out. So they would literally come and kill you for that Kraber. So maybe not take that shot just yet, but that could be a massive opening play for them. But this is a very, very awkward zone. There's very little cover to work with. You can use these rocks on the high ground, kind of find one player running here in the open. Hits the 11 damage. He yoinked that kill. Somebody's angry somewhere. Like, that mother trucker just stole my kill. You know, that happens to the best of us. Ooh, Hayes getting a Kraber knock. We hear and see in the background. Zone is pressuring this team. TWC, they will hopefully be able to make it here safely. Or will they? This is a really, really tough rotation. Very difficult for them to work with. They do have the Valk of the Horizon to lift them with. They do have the area of denial that the...
Oh my word.
That the Fuse offers, but it's not going to be enough. Fuse is the last one alive, and Chambi is just hungry for the sport team. I think he smelled the Kraber. That's my theory. Ooh, nice wall.
A gorgeous wall bounce jumping his way to an early grave as 2 TWC teams are in fact eliminated. Nibble cleaning up the streets and again in a very advantageous position. I have to say it, the aggression from Nibble and the confidence that they have in being aggressive is not just in pushing and picking fights, it's getting to the right location fast. and Empire is going to have a hard time dealing with this this elevation. Now, I didn't quite catch who that last team was of the three, but that's
It's
only one
Nebel
person
v
left.
Empire.
Oh, it's Dark Esports with our final Valkyrie sitting in the corner, taking rounds to the spine. Oh,
like
you
this.
poor little thing. Not
Okay.
like this. Oh, goodness.
Now it's a 1v1 showdown. Empire's had a great showing so far. They have a little bit of a zone advantage here, which is pretty massive. Empire is a team we have seen them perform. I actually personally played Dota earlier today with Silent Wraith. He's quite good in that game. So if you're good at Dota, you're good in every game. That's just a fact of life. But yeah, they have Light Desire on purple, 74 damage away from red. He probably wants to get a bit of a few poke shots in just so he can have red as well. There, he needs one more of those shots and he'll be red. Ooh, but Hayes has the Kraber. But Nibble and them might have found a Kraber as well from Burrito, as we saw earlier. And this fight is about to get heading. Wait, who's got a Bangalore? Wait a second. What's happening? There's a knock already early on, but Light Desire is not going to let that slow him down. He gets big shots with that wingman, but it's not going to be enough. He gets sucked in by the Grav Mommy, and now it's up to Hayes to do her own Grav Momminess, and hopefully she can clutch it up for her team.
No! My goodness, just
Nibble
caught out in
just-
the open completely. And poor Space Mommy, gravity was not going to help you there as it pulls you into your grave. And Nibble, there we go, taking their second first place victory. Well done, Nibble. Again, such great positioning, and we saw it pay off there. I'm at a loss for words for how that keeps happening, because when I'm aggressive, I just get slammed in my chops. So well done, Nibble, again, taking that victory. What do you think?
It was absolutely stunning. I mean, kudos to, I believe it was Light Desire on the Seer there, who held his ground, got one knock as well. As we saw there, especially if it's 1v1, right? In the sense of like a one team versus one team, right? It's so safe to do that aggressive push because you don't have to worry about the third party, right? So that kind of gives you the confidence that you can push because you know you're not going to get shot from the side. Yo, it's Trout. He's back again. Hello. Hey, yo, how was the game? Did you enjoy it?
Were you biting your nails as much as I was? Damn.
Oh.
It was amazing. Genuinely, it was actually scary to watch. Also, in the interim, DNMK got taken out sort of like halfway through the match, and it was a bit of a weird one. It was like a sandwich, I think that's for lack of a better term.
Yeah, they keep finding themselves in awkward positions from what I've seen. From the qualifier 2, qualifier 1, and then qualifier 2. They did obviously qualify with qualifier 2. We have our standings, I think this time updated. Wait, no, we don't.
Not just
right?
No.
Okay. But yeah, so I mean, DNMK gets taken out a bit early again there. It's quite unfortunate, but Chambi, like you were saying, that man is a human aimbot. I don't know what that guy does. Whatever he eats for breakfast, I want some of that as well, please. Somebody, whatever you eat, Chambi, let us know. That company should sponsor you or something.
No, absolutely. It's crazy. But otherwise, what were you guys' thoughts on sort of like the fact that there was no fights for the first 10 minutes of the game?
That's a good thing. Okay?
Could it be?
It makes for
could it be?
crazier
And
endgames.
stick with me, people. Could it be that Storm Point is just a bloody big map? All right.
No, it's a good thing, you guys. It's a good thing. You silvers, get out of here.
I'm not in silver. I was with you when I hit gold. In fact, plat. I was there. You were there. You were there to witness in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so I think Storm Point, I mean, it's a good thing for teams to be able to like find their positions, find their rotations, find their loot, and then go and choose if they want to take the fight. We saw that two teams did contest, and it's actually so healthy if you are able to contest each other on drop and then rotate away without even having to take a fight, because that means that, later down the line, they've got a big fight. We saw a lot of big fights, especially there at the barometer area, and that's because teams rotated too slowly, I believe. And also because, not all the teams were dead on the first contest, so they were able to, be over the map. I don't know. I enjoy the Storm Point map for competitive, but yeah, for pubs, I can understand. It's too big for pubs. It's kind of boring. All the teams are dead in the first, 10 seconds. So,
It's not the vibes.
Now, here's the thing, right? It's bugging me. I know this is not much of a segue, but what Potentia is microwaving themselves to death? What was that about? I know we weren't following them because they were on the edges. We were watching the fights that were happening in and around zone, but apparently they just decided, you know what? We're going to stick around and get a bit of a suntan. So I don't know. Any thoughts on that at all, gents?
Like, I just want to say first, right? Where did they get a heat shield? Can someone let me know? As far as I know, the private lobbies don't have heat shields. So I don't know if they saw this as some blessing from the gods that they somehow got a heat shield and they're like, we're gonna play the zone this game. They had a heat shield.
Just
At
before
the
they're
last
dead.
They were
No,
crafting.
that was a seer ult. That was a seer ult. that
No,
he
it was
threw.
a heat shield.
A heat shield, because I only
was
saw a seer ult that
Can
was just
somebody
thrown in
confirm
vain.
that for us? Because I was
Sitting
like,
smack bang in the middle of zone 3
yeah.
or 4, and they're just sitting there trying to heal up. But I was like, man, you are a country and a half away
Yeah.
from the
Especially
end of
on
the
some
zone,
point.
and I was like, there's no way that you're making this. And their Valkyrie was dead, regardless. So I think they were just sitting there trying to soak up the what's the word? Placements, and hoping other people were going to go out before them.
yeah, I think that was a strategy as well, honestly. Yeah.
Well, I think they just got a little bit unlucky and caught themselves in the other end of the microwave. You know how normally we stand and stare at the food going around, and they were absolutely staring back at the edge of zone, going round and round. It was just unfortunate. But guys, can we have a look at the standings here? I think that we might be close to our first team on match point, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have an API that works when the lobbies don't crash. So if we will have to work on just getting that fixed. We can get you guys rapid standings as soon as possible, as the admins are busy sorting that out. Yes, but yeah, I mean, we definitely know Nibble there. Last time I saw, they had more than 9 kills, and I think first place is 12 points. So if my math checks out, 29 plus 21 is 19. No, I'm not
29
stupid.
plus 21.
It's a meme reference, okay? And they have their match point is what I'm trying to say, okay?
Okay,
Come on, 9
okay.
plus 10, 21. Come on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I already know.
Okay,
I already
I'm
know
just-
that I'm bad at math, all right? And so now I'm like, yes, absolutely. Wait, no, hang
Yeah,
on.
that,
But
that
I don't
was
want to
my
correct
exact
you
mine-
because I'm
yeah,
also
absolutely.
stupid when it comes to math. I'm like,
Oh, no, guys. It worked too well.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
exactly.
they should be on match point after game 3, which puts them in a comfortable position. But like we talked earlier, it's not necessarily comfortable. So we're actually going into game 4. After this game, we will have your updated standings. But this could be the last game, guys.
Very much so. Very, very much so. But again, anything can happen. You said it yourself, Daddy Cool. Just because you're at match point does not mean you are secured the victory. So, here we go again. Looking at these picks, not much is changing. Question mark. Lots of Seers. A couple more Ashes. That's interesting. The Valks are there. The Space Mummies are there. Hello, Mr. Connor. There is a Newcastle. Would you look at that? I'm sure he's
Hey, love
happy,
to see it.
smiling off screen. Here's your champion squad, as if anybody was
Look at
surprised.
those spreads, goodness.
Damn,
Just
dude.
give us some last tidbits before we love you and leave you, Trout. What do you have to say about this game? Fair enough, bye!
Early access, unfortunately, seeming to have loaded in with one less player. That is not going to be beneficial. Not only just to gameplay, but also to their morale, I'm sure. But here we go. Everybody diving out, and Echo Wolf, your favoritely named team, apparently, heading on out to more of the outskirts. I can see a few teams also spreading out. You mentioned a gentleman's agreement. Now, you mentioned it. It's news to me. Can I English? Downloading new English. It's news to me. Is it a bit of a gentleman's agreement in a comp to not try and contest a landing?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's no rules prohibiting it, but there is like a understanding like, hey, contesting screws both of us over. That's the big thing. If you contest, you're not just screwing the enemy team, you're also screwing yourself, right? Because you now have to. It's a 50-50. One team could get a purple and a wingman, and you could get a white and a P2020, right? So you're playing a gamble game then, and it's kind of a gentleman's agreement to kind of try and not do that. But sometimes, you'd rather contest somebody than actually, try your luck somewhere else. We've been having bad contests, or your rotations haven't been working. And yeah, nothing is preventing you from doing that. You might have a bit of beef after the tournament. That's definitely something that happens. But it's only time will tell. And yeah, I mean, obviously there's no rule against it, so there's no way you can physically prevent it. It's just like you have to live with the actions of your consequences.
It's a competitive game after all, and if you can do anything to get yourself that edge, maybe you should be taking it. But hey, look at Nibble. Nothing if not consistent here. They're landing on the spots that we predicted. So consistency in their aggression, consistency in their performance, and consistency in their landings. And unfortunately, very inconsistent is Echo Wolf 2 getting taken out first. We just landed with them. What happened?
Wait a second. Tenchi just didn't pick up a bruiser on his 301. I just have questions about that. But let's get into this fight first. RadX finds himself a team here in middle of nowhere. No, this is C-Note. This is the team that contested C-Note. Now let's see how it goes. What happened?
I just saw him bounce a grenade off of Wraith's ass. That was the funniest thing. Sorry.
It happens. So let's see RadX here. They have blues. They don't know what the enemy team. They have 2 controller players, so this is their space to be fighting from. Ooh, but that's a charge rifle at a range you don't really want to be charge rifling at right now.
Okay.
I think probably a few teams might have had issues with the loading in, so that means we have, unfortunately, have to restart the match. We're terribly sorry about that.
Most unfortunate. I know that's
it'd
going to be a
be
bit
what it'd
upsetting
be.
as well because we already did have an elimination. Could you actually remind me? Yes.
Hello? Okay,
There
so
we
there was a
go.
lot of packet loss issues. I don't know if you chat could hear that, but we had somebody in our ears telling us the juicy bits, and that's the fact that the teams had some packet loss. You know, again, whenever there's a new season lurking about, there's always a bug or two that rears its head. So it's unfortunate. There's actually ALGS as well tomorrow. Hopefully they don't have these issues tomorrow. One thing I do want to point out is the fact that this is obviously a stepping stone towards getting yourself into the competitive scene, because taking part here in South Africa is also, but if you get on that main stage in like ALGS, that's where you want to be in. Taking part in these tournaments is how you get there. But actually, you know what we haven't done yet, I feel like, Snowball? We haven't said thanks to all the amazing sponsors who've made all of this possible, who makes this casting possible, makes this tournament possible, makes these opportunities for esports athletes possible. MSI, Red Dragon, Antic, and Crucial, you guys are the real MVPs. Without you, and obviously ALGS, not ALGS, ACGL, they have such similar acronyms. Putting this all together, making all this happen, you guys are the true GOATs here. We have some goated players in Team Nibble and all these other teams, but the goatiest of GOATs are our sponsors and ACGL. And obviously you guys, the viewers, being here and supporting the esports as well.
And speaking of like just how much they've been bringing to the table, did you notice, Senor Daddy Cool, that we hit our viewer count goal, which means an extra 1K was added to the prize pool? That I'm sure is good news to anybody in this competition. And yes, look, I know it's upsetting that we've had to restart. I'm sure a couple teams are going to be a bit upset. But at the end of the day, this is a competitive lobby, and we'd much rather everybody be on equal footing and an equal playing field. So just a quick little reset from our side, and we'll be back into the blood sport that you know and love as Apex Legends.
Definitely. I don't know. Are we going to take a break, or are they going to be quick sticks? Okay, we'll be back in... I'm not going to give you a time, but let's say 2
Don't give it time. Don't freak yourself out.
See you guys now.
Hello and welcome everyone to the ACGL Mythic Catch-Up, where we catch up with players and teams that are competing in ongoing Mythic campaigns. Today I am joined by DNMK's IGL himself, Cheetah Boy. Cheetah Boy, how are you doing today, good sir?
Thanks, and yourself, sir.
I'm doing fantastic. It's such a pleasure to have you here. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I think the first thing I'm going to be speaking about is with regards to performance, and this is something you cannot escape from, right? But just going to pick at it. You guys didn't have the best performance in Qualifier 1. I think we all saw, and you know, it wasn't expected, but subsequent to that, you guys played in Qualifier 3. Ultimately, you won 2 matches back to back, and I think you could have maybe won another 1 or 2. It's just that, you know, I feel like there was just a bit of mistakes here and there that, you know, maybe it might have costed you. But aside from that, you guys played phenomenal. You broke the 90-point mark as well as the 50-kill mark, and you're only one of 3 teams in the campaign to do that, and that being Nibble and Omnius being the other teams. But how did you feel after this qualifier? How did you feel performance-wise, mentally? Like, what were the thoughts, or how were you feeling at the time?
We're feeling pretty good as a team right now. Obviously, after the performance in the first qualifier and ALGS coming up, we've been screwing quite hard and getting our team play down. So I think we're pretty ready for the finals coming up in.
All right, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. And you know, the next thing, so this actually came to us as a surprise to me. When you guys picked up a kill in replacement of Masuko. But aside from that, it seems like you guys are doing really well together. But I just wanted to know, how has his addition been thus far for the team?
So obviously before, it was 3 mouse and key players, and he was a controller. So it's fit pretty well and he pretty much just replaced the old player's position, the aggressive upfront player, and because he's on controller, it helps quite a bit with the aim assist. And so you just send the kill in, and he just does all the damage for us, and we just support him.
Fantastic stuff. And I mean, you do need that aim assist on your side, so I think at least that's going to be a plus side for you guys.
It is the advantage to have a controller player on your team.
I mean, especially if he's also skilled, so that's just two bonuses in itself. But moving on from that, what's been your thoughts on the changes that's come to Mythic so far, with Stormpoint being added into the map rotation and our match point system also being improved? Like, do you feel it's been there've been good changes?
I honestly think it has been good changes in, especially with Stormpoint being in ALGS. I feel like most teams aren't really used to it, but it's one of the competitive maps that need to be played in.
Yeah.
And it's quite a healthy map for competitive as well. So I think that's a good change. And then when it comes to the match point system, before no one really liked match point, mainly because teams could just get two games and then win the third and win the tournament in. But with the way it is now, I feel like it will be a lot more competitive compared to before. So for me personally, I like the changes in.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, definitely. Especially like speaking on the match point thing, you'd have a team that would, obviously be on the road to winning in just 3 games, whereas now we have a set amount of games, which sort of allows more teams to get to match point, and with that, it just, I guess, makes it more competitive, because now it's like you possibly have like 4 different teams that are gunning for the win. So I think it just makes it a lot more competitive, and also gives a lot more opportunity for guys to also sort of enjoy the event itself. And same thing on the other side of Stormpoint as well. I feel like also Stormpoint is a healthy map, very big, very spacious, allows for teams to, sort of settle themselves in. If they don't want to engage in fights immediately, it allows for them to, just practice their rotations or just get themselves ready for that end zone. And I think like just the whole change of scenery, constantly having World's Edge, but now with Stormpoint coming into the mix, I feel it keeps the players and teams, a bit refreshed as well, because you're not really, fixated on one map only and just the same rotations constantly. So I also really agree on that. But, let me not keep you too long. Let me just go on to the last question. So I'm sure you guys are going to be gunning for the title of champions of this Mythic series. But I just want to know, are you and the guys confident going into this grand final? And do you feel you'll be claiming the series yet again to make it a back-to-back series win?
Yeah, I mean, we are fresh out of 2 tournament wins in a row. So I feel like we are quite confident coming into the finals, wanting to make it 3 tournaments in a row.
Yeah.
And especially with all the scrims that we've been playing, I feel like we're quite prepared. We obviously found our comfortable composition that we are going to be running, but I feel like we're quite confident in.
It's fantastic stuff. Really happy to hear that. And honestly, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you, Cheetah Boy. And I really can't wait to see what does come from you guys come grand final time. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been our time for today. Thank you so much for joining me, Cheetah Boy. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mythic Royale finals, potentially the last game on the horizon here, as we've just come off the back of game number 3, which Nibble took, like you said, a bit of a lobby reset, some technical difficulties. It appears, as Daddy Cool said so eloquently, whenever there is an update, there is always a bug hiding in the grass, and that's exactly what happens here. But guys, what are you feeling so far?
I don't know. You guys have noticed I put on my glasses because I feel like I'm the analyst desk for today, and I feel like glasses makes me feel more analytical. So I'm feeling like analyzing the next game. You just saw a few teams load in, get ready for the match, and then sometimes you feel like you get such a good start. You drop out a purple, your 301, your PK, whatever your favorite loadout is, and now you have to go and reset. And like that could have been our game. You can't let that affect this game. You have to play your best, bring it on. Nibble has been having a fantastic showing. They are on match point, so if they win another game, they're going to be our winners. Easy as that. Quick sticks, 4 games, done and dusted. But let's see if somebody can prevent them from getting there and get themselves into that, hot seat to also make it to the, number 1 place.
100%. I want to touch on exactly what you said there, is because, like, yes, we're on match point. Nibble's on match point, and they could very much take it here. But you said it perfectly. You can't let a lobby reset, technical difficulties, even an early out, whatever it is, affect you. This, when it comes down to this level of play, you can basically assume that your opponents are at least on the same level of gameplay skills as you. Meaning they will beam you if you show your head, they're gonna have their aim down, they're gonna know the clever strats that you think like nobody else knows in the pub lobbies, and that's all well and good. So you need to know that. But that mental game that you have to play of like keeping your morale up, not letting losses or disconnects or just bad luck affect you, I think that plays as big of a role in what makes the best team the best at the end of the day as any gun skill and gunplay that you will find in any of these 20 teams.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And on that topic, let's have a quick look at the standings here, everybody. I'll read them out to you. At the very least, the top 5. We have Nibble at 61 points, so comfortably over the 50-point mark, putting them on game point, like you said. Closest to them is Empire at 41, so only 9 away, so they just need to get a few kills in this game, unless Nibble wins it. If they can get a few kills and sneak the win in, they'll be on game point themselves. Third is Ominous Gaming at 35, 4 HZA at 22, and number 5 is going to be DNMK at 22. So, a bit of a slow one, but no one is out until the games are over, am I right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely not. I do believe the voice of the admins told us that there is a giveaway that is running now. If any one of you guys confirm for me, please. We are doing a giveaway. I'm not sure of the details, as I wasn't there for the briefing, thanks to load shedding. So, yeah, we are doing a giveaway of something. And
in the chat.
Doing it.
Yes, exactly. Exclamation point giveaway in the chat right now. It'll bring up a link. You go and click on that. You get yourself involved and you can win. That will be giveaway number 3. We have already done 2. 1 keyboard has left the building and a microphone. Soon to follow will be... I saw it in the chat.
The T-Dagger Destroyer 104 key.
There you go.
Yes.
That's the one.
Key because that's all the characters we had for the title. We couldn't say.
All right. We're going to leave you now. Gameplay is on the horizon.
Yep. Escom's going to come and knock in about 45 minutes, but damn it all, we can do a lot in 45 minutes, Daddy Cool. And I am so set and ready for this. Okay, let's...
some epic gameplay. We're actually starting here off on Early Access. Early Access is a team we've seen a lot of performance from, but it seems they're not top 5 currently. And I mean, listening to that top 5, DNMK on 22... They're 28 away from making match point. Again, DNMK will always be one of our favorites. They have been the team that's performed a lot in the past. So there's still a chance. They are one of the teams who can get 28 in one game if they hit their strides. So, I mean, they could get match point next game. But, I mean, Empire, if Nibble doesn't win, that's a big if because they have been on point today. They are going to be only 9 points away from making match point, and that's going to put extra pressure onto Nibble. But, yeah, as we see early access here at the launch site, I believe. The 3 legs they can drop on. Valk here just gonna find herself. Look at that nice heirloom. The second latest heirloom. We have the Hello by heirloom in the game now as well. Ooh, there's the wingman. Optic did not pick it up. But yeah, actually, hey, there we see a Mad Maggie. Saw some of the Mad Maggie. They have an interesting comp looking at that.
Most curious indeed, and yes, we didn't get an overview of the picks, but that's okay. We'll find it out alive as We are hanging out here with Potentiaviz, who have opted not to land in the middle of zone, thank goodness, and barbecue themselves yet again, but there's already some conflict. So, not necessarily a landing contestation, but a contest nonetheless.
Oh!
As Manic gets caught out completely. Excuse me, where did you come from? Can I get a hashtag audio in chat? But hey, Potentiaviz taking a lot of damage. Lean Cup is going to have to back off. Their teammate completely left alone and on an absolute fraction of health. I can't see the Vulk from this standpoint, but not looking great. There goes the poor Sia, and it has to be left alone. I do not see them recovering that banner in this fight, or in this match, rather. That's not great. Dark Esports apparently kind of swooping in now to see if they can pick up on any of those additional fighters left over. I don't know why when fighters I'm going to say legends, but it's fine. English is hard. And here we go. Yet another fight. Dark Esports now engaging with another team on this roof. They're going to push up. They've already taken a fair amount of shield damage, so they almost all of them are cracked. That's not the best way that you want to be entering a fight, but at this level, you can make things happen as long as you've got a gun in your hand. One thing is happening. The Wraith is down from Dark Esports. Not great. Dark Chimera and Dark Shocks are going to have to put in some extra work. As Empire are eliminated, the Empire falls. So does the second player of Dark Esports. That's not great. Chimera, what can you do against a full team? Not much. Dark Esports.
Potentiaviz!
I am very impressed, Eddie Cool. What do you think of that? And look at me eating my words. Sorry for cutting you off. Look at me eating my damn words like the supper that I've forgotten to feed myself. They're going back for their teammate. I should just not make predictions anymore, Daddy Cool. Look at Potentiaviz coming in clutch.
That was so beautiful. We didn't get their perspective a lot, but we could see that they went for that high ground and they held their ground and they played it so well. 2v3. And they took that away from Darker Esports without even getting a further knock. So it wasn't even up to one player to clutch. That is bad from, not only is it's obviously great from Potentiaviz playing that situation perfectly on the high ground, but there was a clear lack of communication then on the side of Darker Esports. You know, sometimes when you're so desperate with the points, this is, you know, you want to get those points, you want to get those kills, you don't think clearly. And that in the end costs you, as they are now out of this game and out of it. But as you were saying in the kill feed, we saw Team Empire, one of our favorites to get onto match point next. They're out. They're not going to get match point this game. So they have to wait another game before they can get match point. And then they can only actually potentially win. So that puts Nibble in a pretty comfortable place. As the third place team being the likes of HZIA, I believe. I can't remember now exactly. Who are kind of within match point range. But they have to have a big game. So Nibble right now, they have some time. They have a lovely little cushion that they can just relax on, as they are the only team on match point, and seems like they're going to be the only team after this game, unless obviously they win.
Well, a cushion it may be, but let's not have them rest on their laurels just yet. More on that in a second, as the absolute beams are coming down. There's the Newcastle coming into play finally. The shields you mentioned not being able to have, or not having the resources to be able to deal with a shield, but oh my goodness, they have enough to deal with Newcastle's body shield. That is them getting absolutely ruined. I personally can't hit anything with the 30-30, but TWC managing to send shots downrange and really make that team question their decision making. We've got count them, Daddy Cool with me. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in the same space. I am waiting for the shooter drop and just all hell to break loose. Let's go have a look.
Sometimes when we have this perspective of seeing how many teams are in the area, we have like so much like I just want to yell at these players like, don't do it, don't fight. There's too many teams in the area. At least it seems like this has become 2 separate fights now, which is quite lucky. Echo Werewolf, big shots there. Breaking the shield of that Horizon of Note. Seer gets rushed on. That's a knock for Zenkits. Well played there. That team, ZDW, that was looking good at the start against the first team they found, now in shambles, and they're getting beamed down from all sides. Echo Werewolf are doing so much damage. The Ash does manage to make it out. They opt to not chase. They do know it's a bit dangerous. Oh, but she jumped just before making the portal, leaving her teammates behind. No, that's so toxic. But yeah, at least now the team of wait, who's this team? Well played there. They actually did Echoweir Esports. They clean up that. Oh, SLX, only one player made it out. The Newcastle is knocked the Watson. They have Newcastle Watson, great combo, but they didn't seem to set up the way they would have liked to. And now we see Echo Werewolf are just gonna take their kills, take their points, and just fly to zone. And that's all you need to do at the start of the game.
Quick fight and a quick exit indeed. And off your screen, you would have seen For Real, No Cap getting taken out. But before that, empty wallets as well. And let's go have a listen into early access.
Either they're very, very quiet and stressful right now. Okay, there we go.
How?
Let's see what
This-
they are.
I don't know. I don't know where they are.
They're not quite far.
No, they're in the open. Coming up.
Ryzen's queuing up.
They're taking out. Yeah.
On height.
Ryzen low, Ryzen 1, nice.
Sears on you, I'm coming to you.
Oh, I got.
He's one.
Cracked.
He's dead.
Nice. Last one.
He's not
Last
on
one
the
at the
back.
bottom. You can res.
Go for that is.
Yep.
He's dead.
Nice.
Ooh!
I got you. Nice.
Dumbasses.
Yeah, dumbass. Yo, that bit of a banter there at the end. Like, yo, that position that Heavy Guacamole found there, just completely sidewiping that Horizon, getting that early kill on that fight. You know, sometimes you think you're gonna do the aggressive push. I mean, early access didn't know that they were even that close. I don't know if that's Seer, right? But you know, that just shows good positioning, good angles can really, really win you a fight. Well played there by early access, keeping the cool, taking that win. And yeah, now they get to loot up all this loot that somebody just brought for them, and they are now comfortably in 13 teams left with a few kills to their name.
Indeed, checking in his loot delivery service, courtesy of BK or BNK rather. But hey, look at that. Radix is eliminated as we swap back over to Nibble Esport. Out goes the Bangalore ult to make very sure that that beach is super concussed. Excuse me while I take a breath. And we see Nibble now rotating along this platform. I'm pretty damn sure it's not to get away. They're closing in for the kill. That's CQ ready to go out. He's teasing us. Are you going to send it? We want that information. Where is everybody? There's a broken, very broken Seer that's taking multiple shots to the spine. Nibble, they smell blood in the water and they're closing in for the kill. I do not have high hopes for this poor team. Unless, I think ADHD just kicked in. They're wrapping around and they're maybe going to catch them on the other side of this mountain. In fact, would you look at that? That's DNMK making their way through the Prowler pen. Jurassic Park, this is not. Out goes the Seer ult. They peek through the door. Oh, you poor unfortunate Valkyrie. What are you doing behind that tree? Oh boy, this is very much now Jurassic Park. I take my word back as the Raptors of DNMK close in on this poor unsuspecting team. Out goes the Q from our wonderful Horizon, and in comes the Singularity. Yeet! Out go the grenades. They're forced to relocate into the jaws of DNMK. This is not a position that you want to be in. They're maneuvering as fast as they can, but one by one they fall, and potential viz, the potential for victory ripped away from them. DNMK clasping them firmly in their jaws.
Oh, but now DNMK have to rotate potentially through Nibble. And we know that they are a team. If they are a team, we can take out Nibble. We know this. We've seen this. But it's going to be a tough one for them to take. If they don't take it perfectly, they have zone on their back, so it's going to be dangerous. They do have the option, I believe. They did have a Valk that can fly around. I want to touch on, when we get the time, to talk about that Bangalore on the side of Chambi. It's actually such an interesting pick. She is one of the best 1v1 legends. Same. Nibble versus DNMK is about to happen. Look at that. This is what we want to see.
The Titans.
Oh, the Titans are at it. We have Nibble in this building. They have this building to play as cover. I don't know if DNMK wants to take this fight. I do believe, actually, even Nibble doesn't look like they're confident. No, they scout out the fact that the other team has rotated around, and they do not want to allow that team to safely rotate around. They want these kills. They want the victory. They want to be the mythic Royalians, the mythicustus Royales. We actually need a name for the... I feel like Mythic Royal Champions just doesn't do it justice. We need like a proper slogan
right.
and
We've
a
got a working
name.
title for now, and we'll get back to it at a later date. At the moment, HZA, the Seer Zesty is going to just take a little Phoenix kit, quick little break, snack, heal back up, and get ready for another fight. That is with the team just across from them. I can't see which team it is right now. It's TWC Quake. Very much aware of each other's presences, but who's going to start poking first? Plenty of ammo, plenty of shields. That's going to be a fat fight when it comes down to it. We're hanging out in each other's kind of rondavels here. Here on Storm Point. Out go the first shots. Trying to feel each other out and make sure that nobody's peeking their head without taking a bit of damage. And here's the thing, right? You know that just peeking not just peeking, just poking is going to be useful. You're forcing the other team to start using up some of their inventory, their shields, their bats, and you're leveling up your shields at the same time. So it's not really shots wasted until they don't hit anything, which for me is an alarming regularity.
Well, I mean, also, if you take damage, you're also going through your resources, you're also upgrading their armor, so it's like a dog in a pool. Nibble just do not want to give DNMK the time of day. They are straight up toxic right now. Yes, see. Okay, so DNMK, I think, realized that they saw the Bangalore. They know there's only one crackhead team running Bangalore. They do not have a team. This is the problem if you don't have a Horizon, a Valkyrie to allow you to rapidly fly over teams like this, right? So they now need to try and make a plan. And again, if this team does, if the team of Nibble keeps like cockishly almost keeping this angle, it could be to their detriment. Let's see how this fight goes off. Cheater Boy has gotten broken, but there is a portal at least. But that is the Seer ult. For lots of grenades and chucking, they spot the player at the window. That's a massive they hear as well. The massive is not the gun you want to be fighting into in this building. Big shots there by Quill. Doesn't get the knocks, but the call is there that he's low. They get the first knock, and they are still looking good right now. This could be the beginning of the end for DNMK. For Nibble, let's not talk too soon. They are throwing some grenades out. It sounded like there was a stick potentially. They have the knock. They want to capitalize on this. They have to reset. They have the blue armor only. Tenchi is on red already, though. This is going to be massive. Takes the high ground, trying to spot out. Gets his teammate to the high ground as well. Setting up grenades. Woo!
Absolutely insane. Very well. Yeah, I'm feeling the stress as well. As up go the two space mummies fighting in the air. That's a crack onto Cheater Boy from Chambi.
That's
the massive coming in clutch.
Cheater Boy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And another one. You gotta be kidding me, Chambi, you machine. Where is this coming from? The aggression, the passion,
No!
DNMK, they bite the dust. All the odds were against them, and Chambi said, no, thank you. You don't tell me the odds, Mr. Han Solo. You pick up your teammates, you crack everybody in sight, and you move on with life. Nibble Esports are still in the running, and DNMK are pushing up daisies.
We can all agree that Chambi is not allowed to pick up a massive. Right, I'm pretty sure.
Chambi's not allowed to pick up anything.
That was disgusting. They were once again one player down, right? But they kept their composure. They reset. DNMK maybe unfortunately let them reset, right? Which isn't something you always want to allow a team to do, but maybe that was the only situation that was viable to them. But as we can see, I wonder if Echo Wolf realized when you take damage, the way you take damage when you run into Nibble, you know. It's Nibble, you know. So they're like probably like, ah, shit, guys, we're in trouble. What's gonna happen? Taking some good pop shots, he hits a few, but nope. Just gets instantly punished. Look at that turnaround. That's just disgusting. Trying to get these shots. He's a lone wolf against 3 actual predators. Not even, I don't even know. He's a lone gazelle against 3 bears, and that is a career wolf. Down and dusted. It does not look like Nibble has any intention of slowing down. They want the crown.
And the crown they will get with this kind of performance. TWCs who are with right now, well, at least one of them who is still up and about. 2 members down and being pushed by another team. Not sure who it is right now, but it doesn't matter because all of them are down and out. TWC taken out by
TWCer.
Wow,
okay.
that seems to maybe, I don't know, contention in the ranks, a bit of a family argument. We'll never find out because flippin' Omnius Gaming unfortunately getting taken out of screen, and TWC doesn't even have time to celebrate their victory. Both Seer ults go out as they are pushed again. My goodness, what is happening here? There's another teammate down. TWC2, you better pull something out. You didn't even get a chance to enjoy your victory as you are very quickly dealt with by Raven. Oh my goodness, and it's TWC again, TWC Quakey. Multiple shots going out. We've got 2 members that are now broken, no shields, and they're gonna have to heal up. One doesn't even get that chance. Just a gent will get the bat off. That's still 2 players in the running and plenty of space to maneuver around. They're recollecting themselves. They're resetting themselves. Oh boy, but it's against Nibble. Out goes a Thermite. You seem to just be delaying the inevitable as Champi comes in with the Mastiff and just a gent gets claimed again. My goodness. Nibble, can anything stop them? I don't know. TWC Quake were quaking in their shoes. They get shut down by these absolute legends. I don't know if there's anything that can slow them down. I don't want to say it, Caster's Curse. I'm touching wood, baby. But my goodness, early access, 1 left alive. Daddy cool. Is there any hope at all?
Oh, early access is not involved in that whole Nibble side of the fight, right? So they're kind of good for now. Oh no, Cyberstorm goes for a bad peek. He wastes his whole army. He has a Kraber, but he had to cock it. That was a bit of a misplay. They're trying to go to get those knocks instead of trying to identify the player that is down. And unfortunately, oh no, Tenchi has a Kraber. Guys, if there's the scariest, I don't think, honestly, Freddy versus Krueger is like a child story, like, you know, like a kindergarten story compared to Mastiff in the hands of freaking Chambi or the Kraber in the hands of Tenchi. I'm scared for every team in the lobby right now. SLX, they're looking at, oh, no, he take a shot. He's like, oh, wait, that's a Kraber. Oh, not like this. Guys, are you sure about this? Again, like we said, we have this info, right? We know who's fighting where. We're like, don't do it, guys. It's a bad idea. But unfortunately, they do not have that type of info. He's trying to get out with his ulti, but he's struggling. He keeps getting cancelled. Oh no, Cypress is gonna go down. Potentially, he's staying up. His team is holding for him, but the likes of Nibble are just keep on pressuring. They are pushing on and on and on, but they are able to reset. Now look at Masuko there in the back row. We can see him lurking, trying to find that angle. Oh no, SLX, there's only 3 teams left. We're going to get a Nibble listen in here as we potentially, they might take the Mythic Royale now in this listen in.
Oh, I got one thing.
Listen,
He doesn't heal.
what they're going to do is they're going to jump ahead with a Newcastle ult.
Yeah,
okay?
and then we...
So
do you have
save
ult then for
nades.
that, don't you?
I don't, but just save nades for their Newcastle.
Oh, fucking Newcastle's one shot because he didn't have heals. He is cracked though.
Oh, they're all back here though. They're gonna
Yeah,
Volk ult then. I think they're planning for a Volk ult. Okay. No. I'm gonna play more right side, yeah. So we're all together, so this guy is probably just hiding.
I think they are going to go for Volcal.
Yeah, they die though.
I attacked all of them.
Yeah, there they go. Oh wait.
No, he was just standing on the rock. They're going to try it now.
I'm burning one. Hard burning.
Oh, I missed. He's Volk ulting.
Look Newcastle. Newcastle's one shot. I killed Newcastle.
Okay. Just check where they're running.
One fucker's here. Here.
He's landing here in the open.
Hey, look at this guy. Can we just get him?
Yeah. I cracked him. It's 50 flash.
They're fighting here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ult there. I got a good ult, I think. I think it's on your rat.
Oh the Valkyrie one.
Good fucking job, boys.
That is that.
They were so cool, calm, and collected.
The absolute ice in their veins from Nibble Esports as they take the Mythic Royale finals. I have not seen a steamroll like that since they redid the road outside my house. That is insane. Freaking Nibble, cool, calm, collected right to the end, making predictions whether they came true or not. They were ready. They were set. That poor Sia getting taken out. So the Newcastle dropped out of the air like an aircraft in World War II, and that was enough to secure them the win. Nibble, your aggression, your confidence, and damn it, your skills have paid off. Congratulations on the crown in the Mythic Royale final.
Trout, what do you have to say?
I want you guys to know that I was in the observer perspective. I could see everything, and the whole time it was really hilarious. You know, the whole setup between the fight between DNMK and Nibble, which took about 2 years to get set up. There was some poor guy, one of the TWC extra teams, who was just like quaking in the middle. And as they got closer and closer, he was like just hiding out in the Rondolva, like you said. And then eventually Nibble just walked over him. And I honestly thought that it wasn't going to go the way of Nibble in the end. It was going to be a really, really close fight. But like you said, the reset came in. And if you give Nibble an inch to breathe, they're going to be able to fill up their lungs, and that's exactly what they did. They came back and got the win, and then they just proceeded to steamroll every other team that came in their way.
That was a masterclass. The way they called every single thing, not only they're going to do, but what they think this other team is going to do. And their comms were clear, concise. They knew exactly, like, hey guys, usually you just say shoot the people flying. They were like, hey, shoot the Newcastle. And then they as a team were able to identify the Newcastle in the sky, take it out, and that is what sets them apart. Like you said, the skill, the confidence, the calmness as well. Like that is one of the big things. If you're able to keep your cool in this situation, that was a runaway victory for Nibble. I mean, DNMK, as we said, one of the teams who are able to take them out. They had the opportunity. They were 3v2, and Chamber was like, "Nah, I got a massive. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm sending you guys home. We're taking the money." It was I'm at a loss for words. That was amazing to watch. Well played, Nibble.
It really was amazing to watch because again, like I maybe I hedge my bets too much because I was afraid. I was like, I loving the confidence. Just play it smart, stick to your guns. But man, they did. They stuck to their guns. They knocked them down 1, 2, 3. As that Valk ult went out, Newcastle came right back down. Somewhere along there, HZA bit the dust, and then in comes Chambi and cleans everybody up with a shotgun. And quite frankly, a pleasure and a privilege to witness.
Absolutely. But like you said, I'm not sure if they'll be ready just yet. I'm sure they'll be going through in a second. Yeah. Okay, obviously, we want to know second, third, and fourth place. That's what we're looking for right now. But like you were saying in the masterclass towards the end there, when you saw how the team was even spread, I mean, the confidence that Tenchi had, where he was sitting on top with no cover, and he knew there was a player behind him in the solo who was sort of ratting it out. He doesn't care. He's like, watching him, he'd like whip between trying to shoot the Newcastle and then look back quickly to see if he could get an angle on the guy in the back. Like, I don't know. It just felt like it was a well-oiled machine, and kudos to Nibble. I know we've spoken about them a lot, but I mean, it's hard to not talk about them when they were literally the center of the show, right? They did everything.
You're killing like
They've
80% of the people. Yeah, definitely have. Well played.
Exactly.
Oh, yo.
Are we waiting on stats? Do we need to kill a little bit more time? Because I've got discussion points.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? We touched on it. The Bangalore pick on Chambi.
Yeah.
Hello? That was interesting. And you said like there's only one crackhead team enough that's going to pick Bangalore. Curious. Let's hear your thoughts, gents.
So for me, the reason I think Chambi is just known as like one of the best like fighters, like 1v1 pure gun skill players in the country in Apex Legends. If you've seen any of you play any other first-person shooter as well, you played some Shatterline a while back, and he just shattered everybody's lines. I think the fact is there's only three legends who excel at 1v1 gunfights. That's Bangalore, Bloodhound with their ult on, and Gibby with a gun shield. But Gibby is he's a bus. It's easy to shoot at a bus. Bangalore, the second you shoot at her, she's running faster, so she has an advantage. She's more difficult to shoot, and she pops a smoke. She has a digi. If you don't have a digi at your disposal, especially with the Bloodhound meta not being so big anymore, you don't necessarily have to worry about Bloodhounds seeing you in your ult. She just goes ham, and we saw that. I think in those fights where he got those knocks with the Mastiff, he had the digi, and he put down smokes and used them well to get those opening breaks, because with Master she can break an armor in one shot, right? So I just think, and like we were saying as well, comfort is so important. Shiv FPS is one of the best players in the world as well, and he is a main with Bangalore for a reason. So yeah, that's why I think he did it, and it clearly paid off.
But I'd like to add to that with the use of Bangalore's ult, in terms of setting up a push or clearing out an area in game 3 towards the end, when it was the last zone when they were pushing over, I believe it was Omnis Gaming, they threw the ult and just completely seized the high ground like that, because they cleared them off of where they had a little bit of structure. So on top of the fact that she moves a bit quicker, her ult was used correctly. Now I have a curveball to throw at you about this. Why would you, seeing as though his massive shot is actually disgusting, surely you could play around maybe getting him to work over to Maggie and then trying to get him into the shotgun position, because Maggie with the shotgun out moves faster than Bangalore and what's her name? Bloodhound with ult popped in the most recent update.
Does she run faster when she gets shot at? Remember, when you get shot at, you do lose speed, where Bangalore gets speed. So I'm not sure. But obviously, Maggie has like a lot of other value and stuff. And I think you kind of also have to feel the lobby, right? This lobby, they read like, hey, we can do a lot with being able to deny an area, like you pointed out so rightly so. And, the smokes being able to cut off lines of sight. Like you were saying as well, there was one team like kind of potentially being able to grief them from the side, but one well-placed smoke, and you kind of have cover, because they have to put themselves out of position to get a shot or a line of sight on you, right? So yeah, I think Maggie's obviously great. I think we're going to see a lot more of her, like if we see more Newcastle stuff, like we said as well. Apex is such a beautiful game. It's so well balanced. Every legend can work in the right situation, and you just have to put yourself in the right situation, and you have to put the right legend in the right player's hands. And Bangalore was the right legend in Champi's hands today.
any legend if we're being honest with the way he's shooting.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Chammy's not allowed to pick up a massive. Like, no, he's not allowed to pick up any gun. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Wild.
Crazy.
Look,
that
touching
was-
on the lad. I mean, Wild. We're still talking about Nibble, but can we just? The other point I have here is just to look at that DNMK versus Nibble fight. Right, everything was pointing towards DNMK with that original knock onto the Nibble team, and yet they pulled it off. I know it happened fast. I know there were a lot of bullets flying. I know there's a lot of people doing things everywhere. But what do you think was the turning point there on either team? What do you think were the major things that Nibble did right and potentially DNMK did wrong?
Do you want to take a stab first? I have my thoughts, but Captain Trout, you go.
Yeah.
You go first.
So, from what I could understand, the knock came off of, I believe it was Chambi, not Chambi who was knocked. Tenchi was knocked.
it was Masuko. It was the Seer. Yeah.
Yeah, the Seer was knocked originally off of a bit of a rash push into the building that they were trying to get at. And then I think where the reset came in, that was probably the turning point in the fight for me, is the fact that DNMK allowed them the space. And then on top of that, Tenchi was able to throw down his Seer, not Seer, his grab mommy, whatever the
grab
Q's
mommy,
up, Q up and get the Seer back on high ground, allowed them to completely reset, and then Chambi with his movement just came out there and teamed up. So that's probably, I'd say, the fact that there was a room to breathe and get a reset, that was just the final nail in the coffin for DNMK.
Definitely. Also, the fact, I do believe that DNMK also had a grab mommy, but that's the thing as well. It's very important. Apex Legends, I feel, it's not a reactive game. It's a preactive game, preemptive game. And DNMK, or Nibble, wait, we have some standings quickly. Are those the correct standings? These do not look... Ah, there we go.
There's the update.
No, that is not the update, because that is still 61 points. But I mean, this should be the overall order of things, because everybody died in the first 2 minutes, I feel like, right? We had Empire getting knocked out, I think in 17th place. Omnius we saw knocked out at about 14th, 12th. So it's tough to say. We're just trying to update that quickly. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at a different scene. Sorry about that. We have some behind the scenes info here. But yeah, coming back on that point. So the fact that they got the reset and then they were preemptive to be actually the team to get onto the high ground first. They used the grab mommy first, got to the high ground. And high ground, it's over, and the second Nibble took that high ground. DNMK was at a disadvantage. Even though it was a 2v3, if you have to shoot up, climb up, you're at a disadvantage. So DNMK, what they could have done right maybe is seize that high ground as soon as that first knock was done, or at least finish that knock for an armor swap, right? But again, when you know that this pressure is there, all these options are hindsight is 2020, and unfortunately they weren't able to make the perfect plays, but also no fault to Nibble though. They played it perfectly. They reset, like you said. They got their inch of air and they just took the whole lung and they took the game from that one moment.
Absolutely.
It was stunning, honestly.
No, absolutely incredible. I really do think that, again, you can nitpick as much as you want. At the end of the day, you have prep, you have skill, and then when it comes down to it, it's the decisions that you make in that space, in that time. And it's difficult because we're not there. We don't have the information or the call-outs or the practice that they do with their teammates. So,
yeah,
well played all round.
I couldn't
it's just
agree
so
more.
fun to watch. That's all I can say. I'm just glad I'm here being able to cast this. It just gets me excited for not just Apex Legends esports, but esports in South Africa overall. Our skill is there. We have Modern Warfare 2 launching soon, actually. We're going to see some Call of Duty tournaments coming up soon. I'm actually casting with this beautiful man here on Sunday, casting some Call of Duty 2v2s. It's just, we are making moves all around the place. ACGL being one of the players making those moves. We have RLCS happening. I know this is the Apex time, right? But I'm so excited for South African esports. African esports. ACGL recently got the GG domain. ACGL.gg. How cool does that sound, right? That's like official, right?
So
Discord.gg, ACGL.gg. I'm just saying the same. We have our standings up and ready, and Nibble are on 89 points in 4 games, more than double second place.
Woo! Well, dominant, if you might say.
Yo, read it out for us then, Snowball. We know who's number 1. What's the rest have to say?
Well, coming in second place is Empire on 42 points, Omnius Gaming with 38, and there's our lovely team HZA, the only other team to have secured a win. 34 points. Unfortunately, they're missing that podium position. But hey, it just goes to show, yes, in a battle royale, it's all about who comes first. But in a competitive scene like this, it's all the factors that come together. Moving swiftly along, in position 5, DNMK, 30 points. SLX with 26 points is in 6th position. Potentia Viz, the microwave champions, in its 7th with 24 points. 23 points is going to TWC2 in 8th. BKN with 23 points in 9th place. Dark Esports 2, or Darker Esports to continue with that equals naming conventions, 10th place with 18 points. And then 11th place, TWC Flood with also 18 points. We just jump back up to the top of that thing. My goodness gracious, Nibble taking home a 50 bomb. That's 51 kills across their 3 wins. That is insane. Across their 3 players, rather, not wins, 51 kills. That's disgusting, quite frankly. Disgusting.
Captain Trout, look at that prize pool. Give us some updates.
Well, the prize pool is saying 17,000 here, but as you guys know, a little bit earlier with the concurrent viewers of over 80, we managed to bring it up to 18,000. I'm not even going to try to break it down. The only thing I can tell you is first prize is 9,000 Rand. Everything else is unknown to me. But other than that, it is going to be a fantastic day for the side of Nibble as they walk away 3,000 Rand richer each.
Absolutely wild.
There you go. Hello. That is absolutely fantastic. They can be so proud of themselves. But first, you know who make that prize money possible? Not only you guys, the viewers who are here tuning in, spreading on social media, doing all the cool things and things, the teams entering, but thank you to our sponsors, MSI, Red Dragon, Antic, and Crucial, who have been making this possible. This is the 2nd Mythic Royale for this year. It's been freaking awesome. Nibble can be so proud of them. I wanted to talk about the scoreboard quickly, right? We saw 11th place was like 18 points. If Nibble wasn't as dominant as they were, there were a lot of teams who could have gotten match points in like 1 or 2 more games, right? But they were just unstoppable. No other team was able to even flex their wings. They were like, you know those little sea turtles who just want to get into the ocean? What are those birds who just don't let them get into the ocean?
Every bird, seagulls, condors, it doesn't
Nibble
matter. If you're
was
a baby
every
sea turtle,
single
everyone's out to get you.
Bird, and all the teams in the lobby were the little turtles, and they did not make it to the ocean. Nibble was the only team to even make match point. Like we saw that last game, Empire didn't even get the chance to make match point. I don't know who took Empire out, right? But I'm sorry. Take a shot every time one of us says Nibble. The chat is gonna be dead. They're gonna have alcohol poisoning. But it's just such a showing. It was such a pleasure to watch. And GG to them, 3,000 Rand richer each. You know, that just shows that hard effort, time, and skill does pay off, and it's great to see.
Absolutely wonderful to see, because at the end of the day, yes, we're in a competitive environment, and we're here to see who is the best, and that goes across a number of factors. It's, again, not just about gunplay, not just about making the right calls. It's about the morale, it's about the mentality, it's about pulling together as a team, and Nibble has exhibited every one of those qualities in full here today, and that has net them a very, very commanding win. I think it's very deserved. I think they put in the time and the effort, as Daddy Cool has said, and we got to bear witness to it here today. Every single one of the 20 teams that we had in these matches here today are fantastic in their own right, and that's why we love watching them. We put them together and pit them against each other and see who comes out on top. And today, it's Nibble Esports.
Do we have that giveaway still running?
I believe it's actually gone through.
We did actually have it finish up. That keyboard, that last keyboard, went out to our very own T-Rex, also known as Rexu, before changing his name. But he is taking home that keyboard. Congratulations, my good sir. Never say no to free gear. Whether you need it, whether you like it, that's a bunch of free gear, you gamer. You take it home and you enjoy it, my good sir.
Absolutely. And on that note, everybody, that is going to be all she wrote, as load shedding is fast approaching for some of the players and everyone involved.
Yes.
Yep.
So thank you very much again to the sponsors, MSI, Red Dragon, and Tech and Crucial. You guys are the best. Wouldn't be possible without you. All the viewers, I see there are still over 80 of you in here. You guys are the best. I give you all kisses. Oh, Costa chat. Hold on. Voice of God has said something.
Just want to also say, obviously, thanks to ACGL. I can't say thank you enough. And all the players, all the viewers, all of this. You guys make all of this worthwhile. You guys make this a pleasure to be part of. It's just...
Ooh. I want to specifically just call out my boy Reggie, because he has been pulling his hair out with all of this load shedding and shuffling and whatever. Obviously, the entire ACGL admin team, we thank you so much for your time, your effort, your blood, sweat, and tears. But hey, we're in like direct contact with Reggie, just by the way. We know this celebrity. Cool. But he's been pulling out his hair. He's been shuffling like crazy. Thank you for the effort, brother. We appreciate it. And thank you, ACGL admins, the staff in the background, those that will probably never even see the limelight. We recognize you and we appreciate you. Thank you for making this happen.
Guys are the best in the business. Last thing to say before we say goodbye is happy birthday to Beanie. That is what the message was. So happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope it's a bit late in the day, but I hope you've had a fantastic day.
Congratulations on being born.
Yes, congratulations. Guys, I think that is everything. Again, we said thank you to everybody. All of you are amazing. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. Trout, Snowball Ninja, you guys are beautiful. It was an absolute pleasure. Although I joined late, you guys made it so easy to join on in. It was amazing cast, amazing games, just amazingness. 10 out of 10 would cast again.
Cast again.
People. Yeah, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
keep it TOS. And yeah, we hope to see you guys on the next Mythic Real, maybe? What's next? Sunday.
Sunday. See you Sunday.
See you
2
guys
o'clock,
Sunday.
Call of Duty.
ACGL is not just limited to Apex, and African esports is only going to be going up from here. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Keep grinding, keep that aim in, and we'll see you next time.